Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
I drive, deep right field. Goodbye. Kyle Manzardo with another home run, his fourth against Cincinnati this year. In the air, shallow left, long run for Johnson. Will he get there? No, it's going to
How about that?
And Jose, after a big turn,
He's going.
he's going to go to second base. The ball got by Ellie De La Cruz. He might go to third. He's off to the races. There's the throw. Not in time. He's unbelievable.
Dumps this one into center field. It's going to drop. Here comes Christian Peters to play the play. Save! White Sox walk it off and beat the Yankees in 12.
Swing, shot, hammer, toward the gap. That's down. That's going to tie it. Here comes Walker on his way to third. Pops waving him. Here's the relay. The Cardinals have won it.
And a wild night in Major League Baseball last night. The Guards got a couple of runs, and they got a win. They took the coveted Ohio Cup down on the banks of the Ohio River last night. Guardians beat the Reds. Day off today. The Diamondbacks are coming to town this weekend. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show. Special show today. We're going to tell you all about it. Welcome in, AM 1310 WDPN. Phone lines open, 330-821-1310. You can always text us. Put this number in your pocket, 330-944-5179. You can also get to us on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We got the chat room open for you today. Get your comments in, get your thoughts, get your questions, get your concerns, get them in. Big show coming up today. Today is the day we've been waiting for quite a while. Been planning this baby out, putting it all together. Another great group effort by everybody here at both the stations, 1310 WDPN and Q92. And today is the day. Are you ready? High school football fans, are you ready? It's the 2026 high school football schedule release show today here on AM 1310 WDPN. We are going to be releasing our broadcast schedule for the 2026 high school football season. We're going to give you week by week by week, and we're going to break it up in threes, okay? First hour, we're going to go weeks 1, 2, and 3. Second hour, weeks 4, 5, and 6. And then our hour number 3 today, we're going to go with our release of the schedule for weeks 7, 8, 9, and 10. Going to run down the entire schedule, all 10 weeks, every game that's going to be broadcast here on AM 1310 WDPN, every single game that will be broadcast on 92.5 FM, Q92, and every game that will be broadcast on the Q92 Sports Network. Let me tell you right off the rip, we're excited. We're excited to bring you games on radio for free, on the stream for free, on our social media platforms for free. We're going to have 7 games every Friday night during the high school football season. 1 a.m., 1 on the FM, 5 on the stream. We got a special beginning to the season, a doubleheader on Thursday night, August the 20th. We'll tell you about that. We got you covered. We've absolutely got you covered. We're going to run down our broadcast teams where you can find our great broadcasting duos all season long. Special guest today, Keller's going to join us at 3:35. Brian Beatty will join us at 4:35. Christian at 5:10, all from Q92 Sports. So we're excited. So hunker down. Make sure that you're listening closely to find out where your teams are going to be playing, who's going to be broadcasting, what week you're going to be the big game on the FM, the big game on the AM, the top couple of games on the stream. It's going to be fun. Enjoy it. You know what? Enjoy the ride. It'll be week 10 before you know it. We'll be making playoff plans before you know it. Let's enjoy this, baby. This is our 10th year of high school football on Q92. DPN's been doing high school ball for a long, long time. Been covering Mount Union for a long, long time. Don't forget Walsh University football added to the family this year as well on the Q92 Sports Network, and some games will be here as well on 1310 WDPN. We're excited. When you have an anniversary with a 0 or 5 on it, it means you've been doing it at a pretty good level and you've grown the product, right? And this being our 10th year on the FM, and again, I know numerous years before that right here on 1310 WDPN. But it's a little something to kind of sit back and say, hey, okay, good. But by no means are we resting on our laurels. We are picking up the pace, right? The product is going to be the best that it's ever been. I can promise you that, on the radio, on the streams, on your phone, on your computer, on your laptop, on your smart TV. This is going to be the best production of high school football that we have had in the history. And I think you will grow to just absolutely love it. You're not going to want to miss a game. You're not going to want to miss a week. You're not going to want to miss a weekend. And you're going to become immersed in our high school football coverage this year. I firmly, truly believe that. And we can't wait to bring it to you. A lot of planning goes in, trying to figure things out, where people are going to go. Especially early in the season, you got some, some of our local teams are making, a little bit of a road trip here and there. But you get that schedule knocked down, you figure out who's going to go where, and it's like, okay, now we're ready to go. So the big schedule release is coming up here today, AM 1310 WDPN, right here on the Sam Bourquin Show. You can listen live right now, 1310 WDPN, the Q92 Radio Sports YouTube. We got the chat open for you. You can also listen and watch the show live right now on the WDPN Facebook page, the WDPN page on X, Sam Bourquin Show page on Facebook, the Q92 Sports page on Facebook. We are also going to be posting as we go our schedule on our social media platforms. So make sure while you're listening and watching, you can get all that information as well. And make sure you save it or screenshot it or put it on your listening agenda coming up here for the next 12 weeks. But we're excited to go. Don't forget, would it be next Thursday or the following Thursday?
Or
St. Harlema's
I think
over at
that's
the church.
Fall.
Just give me the date, I guess, is what I'm asking.
It's the week you're on vacation.
Right. So that would be the 12th. Yes.
You would know better than me when you were going to be on vacation.
Well, no, I was talking about the event. I think it's the 12th at St. H. We're going to have a great show down there. A lot of great folks. We'll be previewing the entire high school football season, getting coaches on the show and letting them preview their teams and how their summers went and how the sport of high school football was changed. We got that big show coming up. And then we kick it off coming up here on August the 20th with a doubleheader. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break because we won't take one the rest of the half hour. So get ready. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We will begin the 2026 high school football schedule release live right here on AM 1310 WDPN and the Q92 Radio Sports page and the YouTube channel. Just minutes away. Stand by.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, is hiring traffic control flaggers, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
I think we can all agree. Over the last few years, things have gotten weird.
Weird, confusing, and at times pretty scary.
And for our kids, these things can be overwhelmingly stressful
and can increase the risk for mental health problems as they grow.
But there's so much hope.
Scientific research and real-life experience
tell us that the number one antidote to stress is authentic, trusted relationships.
So that's why I.
That's why we.
That's why I am committed to building and maintaining a trusted space.
For the students I influence every single day.
Until schools across the country
can proudly call ourselves a trusted space.
This is 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 a trusted space.
Access free films and resources to build trusted spaces in your schools and communities at atrustedspace.org.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, getting you ready for the 2026 high school football schedule release coming up here in a minute. Do want to let you know that it is a 3-question Thursday today, so get those comments in on all of our social media platforms as well. Question number 1, how many high school football games do you think that you attend on average each year? How many high school games a season do you go to? Question number 2, Major League Baseball trade deadline coming up Monday. Will the Guardians buy? Will the Guardians sell? Question number 3, what is your most prized possession of sports memorabilia? And if you can, post a photo on the Sam Bourquin Show page on Facebook or the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. 3-question Thursday quiz. How many high school football games on average do you go to a year? Question 2, trade deadline Monday. What will the Guardians do? Will they buy or will they sell? Question number 3, what's your most prized possession of sports memorabilia? All right, Guardians off today. Diamondbacks coming to town this weekend. Coming up throughout the show, we'll talk a little Browns day 2 of training camp. We'll hear from Todd Monken coming up here a little bit later. We'll hear from Nick Sirianni, head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. And, Baker Mayfield took to the podium today, and he did not hold back. All that more coming up. Sammy's best bet, and, of course, on this day in sports history. Are you ready? I think we're ready. Let's go. Time for the 2026 high school football schedule release. And we're getting ready to give you weeks 1, 2, and 3. We started off Thursday, August the 20th. Our FM game will be right here on Q92 and Q92radiosports.com and YouTube. The Fairless Falcons will travel to Sandy Valley to take on the Cardinals. Myself, Brian Beatty, Ryan Bevere with the call. That's Thursday night, August the 20th. Fairless will be at Sandy Valley. On the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, Jackson will visit Chardon. Jay Wilhelm, Mike Voorhees on the call as the Polar Bears hit the road to take on the Hilltoppers. So Thursday night, doubleheader on the FM, Fairless at Sandy Valley. On the YouTube channel, Q92, it will be Jackson at Chardon. All right, the first big Friday night here. AM 1310 WDPN. Christian and Derek will bring you the Alliance Aviators at the Northwest Indians. That'll be on 1310 WDPN. Friday night on the FM, the Canton-McKinley Bulldogs at home against Warren Harding. Myself, Brian Beatty, Ryan Bevere on the call. On the YouTube that night, the Q92 Massillon hosting Cleveland Glenville. Keller and Mike Kay on the call. Also that night, Canton Central Catholic against Perry. Mike Voorhees, Mike Dixon on the call. North Ridgeville at Lake. Caleb and Ryan Rowland on the call. Buchtel at Hoover. Jay Wilhelm with the play-by-play. Glen Oak at Dover. Glen Oak versus Dover. That'll be Matt Corrali and Robert Coleman. That is week 1. Let's go to week number 2. Right here on 1310 WDPN, the Worcester Generals will pay a visit to Alliance to take on the Alliance Aviators. Our FM game, Youngstown Boardman at the Lake Blue Streaks. And then our 5 streams on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Marlington against Northwest. McDonald will battle Malvern. Hudson will play Jackson. Talmadge will battle Green. And Massillon will take on Glen Oak. If you're watching on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, we've got the schedules up for you with the graphics, so you might want to head on over there while you're listening and check out the schedules. You can look at them as we go. And finally, week 3 of the high school football season. We've got games on Friday. We also have a game for you on Saturday. On Friday, right here on AM 1310 WDPN, the Alliance Aviators will take on the Rockets of Streetsboro at Mount Union Stadium. Our FM game, the Jackson Polar Bears at home at Robert Fife Stadium as they welcome in the Grizzlies of Wadsworth. We are looking forward to calling that one for you on the FM. Our stream games on Q92 Radio YouTube channel. 5 more on September the 4th. Northwest will take on Canton Central Catholic. Sandy Valley will battle the much-improved Minerva Lions. Hoover Vikings at home against Garfield Heights. Our next stream game will be Canton South hosting Akron East. And our final stream game that night, week 3, Warren Harding will take on the Perry Panthers. So 7 games for you on Friday, September the 4th. We've got a bonus for you on September the 5th on FM, Q92, 92.5 FM. From Tom Benson Stadium, it will be the Glen Oak Gold Eagles hosting the Tigers of Cleveland Heights. That ball game will begin at 11:30 on Saturday morning, September the 5th. So there it is, the first 3 weeks of the high school football season on our 2026 high school football schedule release. You can see them on your screen, weeks 1, week 2, week 3. Just to kind of reiterate the opening weekend for you, we'll have 2 games on Thursday, and we'll have 7 games for you on Friday. We kick it off Thursday, the 20th, FM, Fairless at Sandy Valley. On our Q92 Radio YouTube game, it'll be Jackson at Chardon. And then on Friday night, 1310 WDPN Alliance will take on Northwest. FM Q92, Canton McKinley hosting Warren Harding. And again, our 5 stream games for the opening weekend on Friday, August the 21st. Canton Central Catholic at Perry. North Ridgeville will take on Lake. Buchtel will visit North Canton Hoover. Massillon at home. Another big opening game for the Tigers. They'll take on the Cleveland Glenville Tarblooders. And our last stream game on opening weekend, the Glen Oak Golden Eagles will take on the Dover Tornadoes. That is the first 3 weeks of the 2026 high school football schedule release. Our broadcast between FM and AM and the Q92 Sports Network. We'll take a break. The news and weather's coming up next. Keep it right here. Much, much more to come on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. U.S. Central Command said Tuesday night it had engaged an airstrike campaign against Iranian proxies in Iraq with the aid of the Saudi Arabian armed forces. CENTCOM described the targets as Iran-aligned terrorists. The airstrikes is necessary in response to attempted bombings of Saudi oil facilities and other high-value targets from Iraq. The Iranian terror regime has sent senior leaders to Iraq to help train members of the various militias known as the Popular Mobilization Forces, which include various Shiite terrorist organizations. The PMF confirmed the strikes Wednesday and claimed to have lost 20 terrorists to the operation. Despite including jihadist terror organizations, it's also a formal wing of the Iraqi armed forces integrated into the military during the conflict over the past decade against the Islamic State Caliphate. Iran reportedly anticipating within weeks the first delivery of Chinese-made shoulder-fired surface-to-air missiles. The shipment reported by Reuters Wednesday. The sources said a Hong Kong company acted as intermediary for the shipment, which seems intended to fill the gaps in Iran's air defenses exposed by U.S. and Israeli strikes. China reportedly stepping in to provide the terrorist state with between 300 and 400 man-portable air defense systems, including the advanced model, which has extended range and can defeat infrared jamming defenses from targeted aircraft. The Department of Homeland Security will fast-track decisions on asylum cases in an effort to cut down the backlog left by the Biden administration. Monday, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Director Joe Edlow announced the change allowing the agency's adjudicators to refer asylum applications to federal immigration judges without first interviewing the applicant. By the end of fiscal year 2024, the asylum backlog surged to 3.6 million cases. At the same time, ICE's docket of those illegal aliens not detained by the agency, but who were pending deportation, ticked up to a record 8.1 million. U.S. citizen who sympathized with Hezbollah and the Iranian regime convicted of federal terrorism charges linked to the stabbing of writer Salman Rushdie. Hadi Matar is already serving a 25-year New York State prison sentence on an attempted murder conviction. Matar, who repeatedly stabbed Rushdie as he was about to give a lecture on writers' safety in Chautauqua, August 12, 2022, was found guilty by a jury in Buffalo of engaging in an act of transnational terrorism. Sentencing is November 3rd. Axios reports a comprehensive survey of experts has revealed concerns about a catastrophic artificial intelligence risk that could materialize over the next few years. The highest rank, with a 21.5% probability, involves AI systems possessing dangerous capabilities that could potentially cause mass harm. Close behind at 21%, the intentional weaponization of AI technology by human actors. The third risk, assessed at 18% probability, concerns power centralization and unfair distribution of AI benefits. Fourth is the race among companies and nations to release the most advanced AI models, possibly resulting in inadequately tested, error-prone systems being deployed. The fifth involves creation and spread of false or misleading information. 81 degrees at 3:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Aerial Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
81 degrees for your afternoon high today. Picture perfect weather. Low humidity, staying dry, and abundant amounts of bright sunshine and blue skies. No reason not to get outside. Overnight clear and starry. Another great night for stargazing. Lows in the upper 50s. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. It is our special program today, the 2026 high school football broadcast schedule release program, as we are telling you all about our high school football broadcasts this year. If you are just joining us, we just released our broadcast schedule for weeks 1, 2, and 3. Next hour, we will do weeks 4, 5, and 6. And then in the 5 o'clock hour, we will release our broadcast schedule for weeks 7, 8, 9, and 10, giving you all the games, all the broadcast for games on 1310 WDPN and, of course, 92.5 Q92. Also, if you are watching us right now, and if you're not, you might want to head on over to the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, get in on the live stream. Also, we are going to continue to leave up there our broadcast schedule on the graphic in and out during the hour in case you missed it earlier in the show, just to kind of make that a little bit easier for all of you today. Real quick, before we get to Keller, part of one of our dynamic broadcast crews bringing you high school football all season long. Want to get you out the questions for today's 3-question Thursday quiz if you want to get in on that as well. A lot of you already have, and we appreciate that. Question number 1, about how many high school football games will you attend during the season? How many games you usually go to during the season? Question number 2, Major League Baseball trade deadline is coming up Monday. What do you think the Guardians will do? Will they buy or will they sell? And question number 3, what is your most prized possession of sports memorabilia? And if you can post it on our social media platforms, let people see what you got, I think that would be pretty cool as well. Phone lines always open, 330-821-1310. You can always text at 330-944-5179. Again, the high school football schedule release program today here on 1310 WDPN and all of our social media platforms as we get underway. High school football, week 1, August the 20th and August the 21st, Thursday and Friday. Without any further ado, from one of our many, many exciting broadcast crews, let's bring in, we call him Keller from Q92Sports, joining us today on the big schedule release show. Keller, how you doing today, buddy?
What's up, Sammy? How are you, my man?
I'm good. I am good. Can you believe that we are this close to kicking off high school football?
No. And there's so much to do before we get to that August 20th date. So, yeah, a lot happening, and I can't believe it's here. A blink of an eye, you and I were talking like, hey, yeah, we're this many days out. And before you know it, now we're 21 days out.
So you get to kick off with a banger, as the kids say. You've got the Massillon Tigers and the Cleveland Glenville Tarblooders at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium on the Q92 Sports YouTube channel and all over our social media platforms. That was a wild game a year ago. You'll be in the catbird seat for this one as well. How excited are you to call that? And, oh, boy, a lot of talent on that field that night, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. There is an incredible amount of talent, and every time those two teams get together, it's going to be a fantastic game. And I'm excited to see what Massillon has this year. I read an article about their running back duo, and they always have so many great players, some standout guys. And I'm excited to see what they can do this year, more of a national schedule again. And it's always exciting to see when they play those teams from out of state and vice versa. And then Glenville actually playing in the division that they should have been playing in for the last couple of years.
Right.
So it's always a battle. And at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium, I'm very much looking forward to that. That place is just a really cool place to call a game and to watch a game, and especially with those teams going at it.
Atmosphere always great over there. You mentioned Massillon's schedule, and man, is it a national schedule. Some are not quite on par with that or on board with that, and I completely understand that. There's not a lot of local flavor as far as when Massillon plays because. I do understand that it's tough for them to get opponents, and number 2, when you got to go outside the state of Ohio, sometimes it just doesn't. You know what I mean? There's a little what's missing there when you don't have a local team or local flavor on the other side of the stadium. But at any rate, the Glenville game has always been a big one, and I'm interested to see, how the Tigers do during the regular season with this schedule, and how we will try to track their progress, so to speak, because we're not going to know a lot about a lot of the teams that they're playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to find information about some of the teams that they're going up against. But I think for Massillon, that schedule works for them. They want to show how big they can continue to grow, and they've shown that they could go against that type of schedule and hold their own and be competitive and win these games. And, it prepares them for when they do get into the playoffs now that they've got a little bit more experience, and it makes them a little bit better.
Keller is our guest. He was part of one of our, how many? We have 15 crews here. Bringing you games all season long on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel and all of our social media outlets. Tell us about your crew, who you'll be working with this year, and what you're excited for and looking most forward to as you put those headsets back on here in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, so this year I've got a new partner, and I'm excited to work for him, Matt Kelly. He's going to be joining me this year. I've been with Mike Voorhees for a bunch of years, and Mike has now moved on to play-by-play. And I had, obviously, Coach Antonio Hall last year, and it was great to call games with him as well. But Mike and I knew each other from Walsh University. It's where he played football, knows a lot about the game, and I'm excited to get to start calling games with him.
When you get into the booth, I want you to take everybody through, and I'm going to ask all our guys this today. Take us through how you get ready for a game. What time do you usually get to the stadium? How you go about setting up and trying to, as we say in the business, lock in before kickoff, or we lock in before our pregame show. Take us through your journey, if you will.
Yeah, it used to be a lot more stressful when I was on air because I was running from the station to the stadium, trying to get set up and everything. So things are a lot smoother for me now, which is nice. I usually get to the stadium about 5:30, 6 o'clock. I go upstairs and immediately get my stuff set up and get tested and make sure all my audio levels are good and we're good to go for the broadcast. And then I always like to mosey down to the field for a little bit. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I like to get down on the field just to walk around, look at the players up close a little bit. Usually my color commentary guy will go and interview the coaches. So I'll chat with him when he gets done with that and kind of just go over a little bit of prep because, everybody on our broadcast teams work full-time jobs. And, they're all running after work to try to get where they need to be and to call the game. So I like to catch up with them a little bit before we go on air. That way we kind of figure out what direction our broadcast is going to go and then go up in the booth and just get ready to go. And it's so exciting. So exciting.
Do you your pregame, like how do you prepare during the week? You try to get because you get a full-time job too, obviously. I see you here every day.
Yeah.
How do you work throughout the week to try to, ration out a little bit of time to get ready, bits and pieces for Friday night's kickoffs?
I usually start the Monday before the game. I'll start looking at what teams I have, seeing who they played the week before, getting their scores and stats, and just trying to research as much as I can to know what I'm talking about. Obviously, looking at rosters, and there are certain players who you could go ahead and memorize their numbers. You're going to be calling their names a lot. I always highlight those names on my roster sheet so that I know it's easy to boom. What you're looking at. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, you're good.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You're lagging a little bit here. Kind of a little bit tough. So for this season now, this is the 10th anniversary for Q92. How many years have you been a part of the broadcast, and what has it been like for you to watch this thing grow? Over the years with the network now.
Yeah. So I started in 2019 was my first year. So it would have been year 4. Okay. And I've been here ever since. And it's crazy how far we've come from where we started my first year. Not just, I mean, me personally too, as a broadcaster, but just everyone in general, and where we started to take this to, and what we've got going on this year, and where you could watch us, Facebook, YouTube, X, all over the place. We're going to be everywhere. And I think it makes it so that we can get as many people and make it as easy as possible for them to find Q92 Sports.
Well, we are certainly looking forward to it. Again, less than 3 weeks. We get cracking here on Thursday night, August the 20th, Fairless at Sandy Valley on Q92. Jackson at Chardon on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. And then Ryan Keller will be ready to roll. PBTS on the 21st as the Tigers host the Tar Blooders of Cleveland Glenville. Before we let you go,
I
think we know who the power is going to be this year. Give me a surprise team. Give me a little dark horse maybe before we hit the road.
Oh boy. Let's see. I'm going to go with the Lake Blue Streaks. I think having some of their guys back from last year, Coach DeGeorge always puts a great team together. They're always physical up front. They've always got good linebackers, a good running game, and I'm excited to see what the Blue Streaks can do this year.
All right, partner. Thanks for coming on. Can't wait to listen to you call your games this year. Of course, we'll be working side by side during the week and getting ready as well. But gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait. And always appreciate your time, my man.
Absolutely, Sammy.
There he goes, Keller, Q92 Sports, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Week 1 will be here in less than 3 weeks. Whew. If you're just joining us, this is the 2026 high school football schedule release show. We have let you know the first 3 weeks, all the games that we will be broadcasting between 1310 WDPN and, of course, Q92. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, Q92 YouTube channel, we got those graphics up there for you right now. You can check them out for the broadcast schedule for week 1, 2, and week 3. Don't forget, coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, we will release weeks 4, 5, and 6. And then in the 5 o'clock hour, we will fire up weeks 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're certainly looking forward to that. Then, we're not done then. Then, after week 10, we get you ready for the postseason, all the games that we'll be covering here for you on WDPN and, of course, Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network. Going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fast-moving year. It's going to be an informative year, and I think it's going to be a very interactive year with all of you out there as you listen in and take part in all of our broadcasts for the upcoming 2026 season. We're going to take a break, 47 minutes past the hour. We'll step out. We'll get back into it here on the Sam Bourquin Show, right here on AM 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Berkman Show. It is our 2026 high school football schedule release program. We have told you what games we will be broadcasting AM, FM, Q92 Sports Network-wise for weeks 1, 2, and 3. Weeks 4, 5, 6 coming up in the 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock hour. And then weeks 7, 8, 9, and 10, they will be coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. I think we've run into a bugaboo here already. I think we've given you the wrong time for that Glen Oak Cleveland Heights game, which is going to change things for us here a little bit. Maybe, I'm not sure. We were under the impression that game was going to be at noon with an 11:30 a.m. pregame on Saturday the 5th. But I understand it looks like Cleveland Heights, Glen Oak could be at 7 o'clock that night. I'm getting 15 different answers from 15 different people right now. So we'll try to nail that down and get that absolutely 100% positive correct before we're finished up here this afternoon. 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You can always text the show at 330-944-5179. So what do you think so far? 3 weeks of our broadcast schedule has been released. Some pretty cool games. Obviously, we're all excited for the opener, the doubleheader on Thursday, August the 20th. Fairless at Sandy Valley on Q92. I'll be on the call there with Brian and Ryan. And then on our YouTube channel that night, Jackson will be at Chardon, and Jay and Mike will bring that game to you. And then Friday night, you got McKinley Harding on the FM, Alliance Northwest on the AM. And then our YouTube games that night, Central Catholic Perry, North Ridgeville Lake, Hoover Buchtel, Massillon Glenville, and Glen Oak and Dover. Pretty good games to open up the season. That's pretty good. Sometimes you don't get, like, those are all, I think, all, if not most of those will be pretty competitive. And then week 2, Boardman Lake, that's our FM game. Worcester Alliance, our AM game that night. And then on our YouTube, you got Marlington Northwest. I think that'll be a very competitive game. McDonald Malvern. Don't know a lot about McDonald. I know Malvern will be tough. Jackson Hudson. That will be a big game week 2. Hudson's been kind of up and down the last, and they go in streaks. You know what I mean? Like, they're really, really good for about 3 or 4 years. They take a little bit of a tumble. They come back. They're really, really good again. So we'll see what kind of cycle they're in 2026 as they take on the Polar Bears and head coach Jay Rohr. Also that night, week 2 on August the 28th, a couple more YouTube games. Talmadge will battle Green. And then Glen Oak will take on Massillon. Yeah, the Golden Eagles are still... Hey, you know what? Kudos to Glen Oak. They're still playing Massillon. They're still playing the Tigers. They haven't had a lot of success against them lately, but they still sign the contract. And they still play. And they go home and home. And that's good, because Massillon doesn't play very many teams from the area anymore. So it's good to see the Tigers and the Golden Eagles still get together on the gridiron. And then week 3, our FM game on Q92, Wadsworth at Jackson. That's going to be a great game. Bears will be coming off of a big test, I'm sure, the week before against Hudson. And Coach Todd at the Wadsworth, man, what a program the Grizzlies have. That'll be fun. Our AM game that night, Streetsboro Alliance. How about that game last year? Alliance, what was the final, like 58-30? Some crazy thing we did last year up there in Streetsboro. And then our YouTube games, our other stream games for week 3 on September the 4th, Northwest Canton Central Catholic, Sandy Valley Malvern. I'm excited to see the Minerva Lions again this year. How much will they improve on what they did last year with Coach Zach Slates? Also that night, Hoover hosting Garfield Heights, Canton South Akron East, and Perry at home against Warren Harding. And then that game on Saturday, September the 5th at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, Cleveland Heights will take on Glen Oak. Rainsburg, you tired yet?
Oh, no, I'm good.
That's only 3 weeks.
We got Robert checking in on Facebook who says, can't wait. Robert's excited.
All right. Sounds good, man. We're ready too, Robert.
Hey, Ryan Rowland checking in. One of our on-site guys says Glen Oak with Matt Dennison and Brian Gamble is going to be fun to watch the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they're trying to kind of turn the page there a little bit. They're trying to, they're trying to figure some things out. Coach Dennison, some years at Canton South. Coach Garcia retiring, stepping away from Glen Oak. And the Eagles football program now trying to maybe kind of reinvent here a little bit. I think Coach Dennison's going to do a nice job. It might take a little bit, the old baby steps routine. You got to crawl before you walk before you sprint. I think that's kind of where Glen Oak's going to be. But I think that'll be an interesting matchup with Cleveland Heights, especially coming off the game with Massillon the week before. I mean, Glen Oak, right out of the rip this year, they've got Dover, Massillon, Cleveland Heights. Those are 3 pretty tough games in a row to start the season. So I'm anxious to see how all that's going to play out. We're going to mix a little bit of baseball in here now. The Guardians winning last night over the Reds. So the standings board, as we speak, looks like this. The White Sox in the division are 56-51. They lead the Guards by a game and a half. Cleveland in second place at 56-54. They're a game and a half out. Twins not going away. They're in third place in the division, 54-55, 3 behind the White Sox, a game and a half behind the Guardians. And then there's the Detroit Tigers, 51-58, 6 out of first, and they are 4.5 behind the Cleveland Guardians. AL East, the Tampa Bay Rays on top in the division, 63-44. In the West, the Rangers on top, 55-53. And don't forget, that trade deadline is coming up so quickly. Coming up Monday. And one of our questions today on the 3-question Thursday quiz. Get those comments in, by the way, in the Q92 Radio YouTube channel in the chat. And you can get us those comments on all of our social media platforms, including the Sam Berkman Show page on Facebook. The trade deadline's coming up Monday. I don't know, what is it? Is it 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock on Monday? I have to go back and look. What are the Guardians going to do? Honestly, what are they going to do? Are they going to buy? Are they going to sell? Or are they just going to stand pat? If they stand pat, that would probably anger me more than if they sold. Because I think they could do both. I think they could sell a little bit, maybe move off of some prospects. And then I think they could go maybe lure a couple of guys in, lure some teams to make some moves with them. If they just stay, okay, we're going to stand pat. We're good with what we have. Angel's back off the injury. Hosey's back from the injury. We still have a couple guys we think that we can call up or keep yo-yoing back and forth between Cleveland and Columbus. We're just going to kind of stand pat. And I got to be honest with you, that would probably anger me a little bit. And we talked to Al Pulaski the other day from Cleveland Guardians TV, and he right off the chute says, we're buying. He says the Guardians are going to buy. Only question is, whom are they going to buy, and what are they going to have to get rid of, and what's the money situation going to look like when that's all said and done? All right, we got the news and the weather coming up here at the top of the hour. After the 4 o'clock news and weather break, we will come back with the 2026 high school football broadcast schedule release program here on the show. And we will let you know which high school games we will be broadcasting between AM/FM and the Q92 Sports Network weeks 4, 5, and 6. So that's coming up after the break. Stay with us on 1310 WDPN.
An Alliance tradition for over half a century. You can always count on WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Yesterday's worst stock sell-off in over a year is a buying opportunity today, with the Dow gaining back more than half of what it lost. Cyber attacks reported at more than 30 water plants across Minnesota this past Sunday and Monday. State and federal authorities are looking into whether Iran could be responsible. The FBI says it's aware of the attacks but did not assign blame. Ukraine said the North Korean missile was used for the first time in Russia's latest strikes. A Georgia father is going to prison for ignoring warning signs before his son shot up Appalachia High School in 2024, killing 4 people. Judge Nicholas Prim sentencing the father, Colin Gray, to 15 years for the murders.
You did not provide a stable household. You did not have things in check with Marcy's issues and what the kids were being exposed to.
The son used a rifle that his dad gave him for Christmas to carry out the killings. This is ABC News.
If you O'Reilly Auto Parts gets you back to savings. Purchase any 5 quarts of Syntec full synthetic motor oil and receive a free MicroGuard Select oil filter. Limits apply. You can also save 20% on a MicroGuard or MicroGuard Select engine air filter when you purchase this Syntec oil and filter special. Get details at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. Man accused of a shooting in Canton is in custody. 41-year-old Stephen Gales arrested Wednesday after being named the U.S. Marshal Service Fugitive of the Week. Case stems from a July 19th incident at Skyline Terrace Apartments on Allen Page Drive Southeast. Police discovered 20-year-old Carlito Urian of Canton covered in blood. He was taken to Waltman Hospital. Gales charged with felonious assault. His arraignment set for Friday in municipal court. Investigators working to determine what caused an explosion that destroyed a Canton home early today. Firefighters were called around 4 to the 1600 block of Bonnet Place Northeast. One man suffered severe burns and was taken to Mercy Hospital before being transferred to the Akron Children's Hospital burn unit. The second person was located after an initial search and also taken to Akron Children's for treatment. Several neighboring homes were evacuated due to damage caused by the explosion. The investigation includes the fire department and state fire marshal. And Alliance Police Sergeant free after posting bond following his arraignment today on a felony child endangering charge. 27-year-old Ethan Griffith of Canfield accused of striking a 4-year-old boy while the child was visiting his mother, and Griffith, who is her fiancé at White House Fruit Farm in Canfield Sunday. Police say the boy suffered marks to his face. Preliminary hearing scheduled for September 3rd. Griffith was sentenced this week to probation, a license suspension, and fines in a separate OVI case stemming from a June 14th crash in Austintown. Man has been indicted after police say he shot a woman outside a Canton apartment building. 46-year-old Damon Gomez allegedly shot a 39-year-old woman in the foot, bit her on the head, and struck her with a handgun. The incident happened late on June 9th in the 700 block of McKinley Avenue Northwest. The victim was treated at Mercy Hospital. Gomez is in the Stark County Jail on $75,000 bond. Charges include attempted murder, strangulation, felonious assault, and being a repeat violent offender. He'll be arraigned Friday. A Stark County grand jury has reduced the charge against a Canton man accused of an attack on an elderly man. 20-year-old Johnny Range was indicted on a felonious assault charge after initially being charged with attempted murder. Police say Range stomped on the head of a 63-year-old man who was lying unconscious after an assault near Walnut Avenue and 9th Street Northeast in Canton, June 18th. Range remains in the county jail on a $1 million bond. Arraignment set for Friday. Alliance High School will soon become home to a new health center serving students, staff, and the community. Alliance Family Health Center and the school district say the clinic is expected to open by next March. It will provide primary care, women's health, behavioral health, pharmacy, and care coordination services. Officials say the partnership will improve access to health care, reduce absenteeism, and help remove barriers to student success. Greater Alliance Carnation Festival beginning today with events throughout the city. Carnation Food Fest runs from 4 to 9 at the University of Mount Union Campus Lakes. Moonshot performs starting at 6. Shakespeare at the Castle starts at 7 at Glamorgan Castle, and a scavenger hunt is underway at various Alliance locations. A children's coloring contest will run through Monday. The E. coli advisory for West Branch Lake in Portage County has been lifted. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources removed the warning Wednesday afternoon, day after high bacteria levels prompted officials to advise against swimming. A guilty plea for a Salem man in the September 2024 deaths of an elderly couple. 26-year-old Kaylin Jones reportedly fell asleep while driving on Georgetown Road, crossing into oncoming traffic and striking a vehicle carrying Richard and Joanne Heiner, who died in the crash. Sentencing set for next Wednesday. Jones entered guilty pleas Wednesday to 2 misdemeanor counts of vehicular homicide. A preliminary hearing set Wednesday for a Lisbon area man accused of firing gunshots during an argument with his mother. 27-year-old Robert Vaughn pleaded not guilty Wednesday in Columbiana County Municipal Court to felonious assault and domestic violence. Deputies say Vaughn's mother accused him of threatening to kill her and fired 3 shots at her at their Elkton Township home Tuesday. No one was hurt. Vaughn was released on $50,000 bond. Man will be sentenced for a shooting in Youngstown. 28-year-old Marcus Jones pleaded guilty to tampering with evidence and failure to comply. A felonious assault charge was dropped. Last May 29th, Jones fired shots during an argument outside a West Judson Avenue home. His ex-girlfriend told police Jones had come to her home and began arguing with her. She called her child's father for help, and Jones reportedly shot at the man before driving away. Jones reportedly threw the gun from the moving vehicle. No sentencing date has been set. Niles man who pleaded guilty to sex crimes involving a 13-year-old victim will go to prison. 35-year-old Frank Smith sentenced to more than 20 years behind bars in connection with a December 2025 case. The girl was known to Smith, who pleaded guilty in May to 2 counts each of rape and gross sexual imposition. 81 degrees at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Bright sunshine through your Thursday afternoon. No smoke, very low humidity, feeling good. 81 degrees for the high. Get outside. Overnight clear and starry skies on the way. A little cooler than average, 58 for your low. I am Art J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, Meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
I drive, deep right field. Goodbye. Kyle Manzardo with another home run, his fourth against Cincinnati this year. In the air, shallow left, long run for Johnson. Will he get there? No, it's going to.
How about that?
And Jose, after a big turn,
he's going.
He's going to go to second base. The ball got by Ellie De La Cruz. He might go to third. He's off to the races. There's the throw. Not in time. He's unbelievable. Dumps this one into center field. It's going to drop. Here comes Christian Peters to play the player. It's White Sox walk it off and beat the Yankees in 12. Swing, shot, hammer toward the gap. That's down. That's going to tie it. Here comes Walker on his way to third. Pops waving. Here's the relay. The Cardinals have won it.
All right, good night for the Guards last night as they take the series from Cincinnati. They win the coveted Ohio Cup. Off day today for Cleveland. The Diamondbacks, the Snakes, come to town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland. Hey, everybody, welcome back in to the Sam Bourquin Show right here on AM 1310 WDPN. A big show for us today, a special show for us today, as we are in the middle of our 2026 high school football broadcast schedule release program. We have let you know where we will be broadcasting high school football games weeks 1, 2, and 3 between AM 1310 WDPN and Q92 FM and all of our social media platforms. And, of course, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, which we've got open right now. We got the chat open, so if you want to get in there, let's go. We'd love to hear from you today. We love the interaction today. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Also, give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. We certainly do appreciate that. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. You can always text the show at 330-944-5179. Coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, we will check in with Q92 Sports, my good man, Brian Beatty. He'll be joining us at 4:35 today. And coming up here in just a few minutes, we will release the 1310 WDPN and Q92 Radio high school football broadcast schedule for weeks 4, 5, and 6. This was the exclusive release of the schedule between WDPN and Q92, weeks 4, 5, and 6. That'll be coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Tomorrow, it's a fill-in-the-blank Friday. We get things rolling at 3 right here on the Big 1310. 3-question Thursday today. A lot of great comments on this one. I'm going to get to some of those here. Question number 1, about how many high school football games will you attend this season? How many games do you attend usually during an entire season? Question number 2, the MLB trade deadline is coming up Monday. Will the Guardians buy or sell? What are they going to do? They're going to pull the trigger. Are they finally going to pull the trigger? Are they going to get the checkbook out? Or are they going to do nothing at all? Division's there to be had. What are you going to do? Question number 3, what is your most prized possession of sports memorabilia? Boy, some great photos have been sent in. Wow, some of you have some really, really, really incredible sports memorabilia. And whether it's signed or it's a photo, I mean, you really got some really cool stuff. I invite you to go to the Sam Bourquin Show page on Facebook. And, of course, AM 1310 WDPN Facebook and X Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Check those out. I mean, wow. Some really, really cool stuff. My like autographed pictures, autographed ticket stubs, some really, really neat things. So make sure you get on social media here and check those out. I want to read some of the responses to you as we continue to roll along here. Doug says, I go to about 6 high school football games a year. He thinks the Guardians will buy. He had a Frank Ryan autographed picture. He lost it. Oh, no, Doug. Mike Zarko checking in today. He says, I go to about 11 or 12 games when my grandsons were playing. He says, I don't care what the Guardians do. I'm a Pirates fan. And his most prized possession of sports memorabilia, just memories of his son and grandsons playing high school football, baseball, and lacrosse. Scott Lehman checking in today. He goes to about 8 or 10 high school games a year. He says the Guardians will buy, but probably not a huge move. Sports memorabilia prized possession for Scott. He says, I got a signed Ozzie Newsome jersey. He signed it at a car dealership when he was a kid. He also has the picture of him signing it. That's pretty awesome. Thanks for chiming in here, Scott. Mike says, I'll be at as many games as I'm assigned to cover this year. He says, let's go get Luis Ariz, Guardians. And on his most valuable prized possession of sports memorabilia, he says, honestly, it's too valuable for me to say.
Oh, so Mike there's only going to go to games if he has to, not because he wants to.
He's in the biz, so to speak. Not quite this part of the biz, but the biz. Let's see here. Dwight Jellison. Hey, Dwight, thanks for coming in today. He says he probably won't go to any high school games this year. He believes the Guardians should sell. They can still win the division by selling. The division is that bad. I don't know if it's bad. I just think it's mediocre. It's parody. His most prized possession, he actually sent a picture of it to me, his painting of Francisco Lindor. That is really cool.
Robert checked in on Facebook just to answer the third one. He says he has a signed Bob Feller baseball.
Nice. Philip Lindenberger checking in. He says he goes to at least 5 games during the regular season, playoffs, and then all state 7 championship games. He thinks the Guardians will be buyers, hopefully a good bet to help Jose. How about this one? Philip has a LeBron James original home team bench from St. Vincent St. Mary. And it's, what's the word?
Authenticated?
Or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. St. Vincent St. Mary High School. I got a picture of it right here. Sam Berkwin Show page on Facebook. Check it out. Original home team bench.
Yeah, I gotta find it here.
Pretty awesome. Let's see here. Jeff says he goes to about 18 to 20 high school games a year. He says the Guards may move 1 or add 1 or 2, but nothing major. His grandfather's old clubs and his son's Glen Oak game jersey, his prized possessions. Let me see what else we got here. Keith Price with a good post and a photo. He says he only goes to about 1 or 2 games now since his kids have been out of high school for a while. He says it'll probably pick back up when the grandkids get older. He thinks the Guardians will buy. His most prized possession of sports memorabilia said it's tough to pick. He says, Sam, but probably my Vince Costello Hall of Fame figurine autographed by Lou Groza. Wow. One more. Al checking in. He goes to 10 high school games a year. He says he hopes the Guardians will get some help, especially in the outfield. He has a signed Wilt Chamberlain indexed card and a Roberto Alomar game-worn jersey. That is pretty awesome right there. We're going to take a break. 18 minutes past the hour. When we get back, we will unveil our high school football broadcast schedule for 1310 WDPN and Q92 for weeks 4, 5, and 6. You'll hear it here first, and you'll hear it next on the Sam Bourquin Show at AM 1310 WDPN.
High school football returns to WDPN Friday night, August 21st. This is Christian Bigglesworth. My partner Derek Dimmitt and I will be calling the action all season long. And the games will also be streaming live on AM 1310's Facebook and X pages, as well as the Q92 YouTube channel. Get ready for another amazing season of high school football, starting August 21st, right here on AM 1310 WDPN.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Hi, human. I'm a micro monster, swimming around in your plastic water bottle. But I can't wait to swim in your bloodstream soon.
Microplastics are micro monsters.
Drink me. Wait, what are you doing?
But you can fight back by using glass or metal reusable water bottles.
No!
Don't let microplastic micro monsters invade your body. Find more ways to fight back at stopmicromonsters.org.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
$1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Coming up in just a minute, we will release our broadcast schedule for high school football weeks 4, 5, and 6. So don't go anywhere. Don't forget Sammy B's Best Bet coming up at 4:29. Just to kind of get you kind of all set and squared away for our teams this year and what divisions they're going to be in. And take a look back at the state champions from a year ago and tell you who made the playoffs last year. For us, McKinley Jackson made it in Division 1. D2, Green, Hoover, Lake, Louisville, Maslin all made the playoffs. Alliance made it in Division 3. Division 4, Canton South, Northwest, Salem, West Branch made it. Triway Manchester in Division 5 and East Canton Malvern in Division 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 teams made the playoffs last year. I know. A little easier to get in. I know. Still pretty good, though. Pretty good representation from the county. All right. We gave you weeks 1, 2, and 3 in the 3 o'clock hour for our high school broadcast schedule, our release show today. Rainsburg, let's crank up the band and let's go. These are for weeks 4, 5, and 6. AM 1310 WDPN Q92 and the Q92 YouTube channel. Week 4, we start September 11th. On 1310 WDPN, good one here. The Minerva Lions will be at the Marlington Dukes. Our FM game, the Green Bulldogs will travel to Hoover to take on the North Canton Hoover Vikings. That'll be on Q92. On our Q92 Radio YouTube channel, our 5 stream games for week 4, September 11th, Howland versus West Branch. Canton McKinley will take on Glen Oak. Lake will battle Perry. Jackson versus Warren Harding. Alliance will take on Salem. That is week 4 on September the 11th. AM Minerva Marlington, FM Green in North Canton Hoover. Our stream games that night, Howland West Branch, McKinley Glen Oak, Lake Perry, Jackson Harding, Alliance Salem. If you're watching and listening along, if you're not on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, might be a good time to get there now, as you can watch as we drop the schedules on your screen. All right, let's go to week 5. Friday, September the 18th. Our AM game on 1310 WDPN. West Branch will take on the Marlington Dukes. A little bit of a rivalry game there. Our FM game, the Perry Panthers invade Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium to take on the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. Our 5 stream games that night. This is week 5, September the 18th, on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Alliance will take on Minerva. The Aviators and the Lions get together. Northwest will square off against Canton South. Glen Oak will take on Lake. One of our big rivalry games from over the years, the Louisville Leopards will take on the North Canton Hoover Vikings. Our final stream game that night, Jackson will take on Green. That's week 5, September the 18th. AM game, West Branch Marlington, Q92 FM, Perry McKinley. Our stream games, Jackson Green, Louisville Hoover, Glen Oak Lake, Northwest Canton South, and Alliance and Minerva. All right, let's go to week 6. You're listening to the Sam Berkman Show, AM 1310 WDPN. This is the 2026 high school football schedule release show. Games to be broadcast week 6, September the 25th. Our AM game. Whoa. How about this one? West Branch hosting the Canfield Cardinals. On the FM that night on Q92, Canton McKinley hits the road. They will go to Green to take on the Green Bulldogs. Our YouTube slate that night, games on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Salem will battle Minerva. Jackson will pay a visit to Perry. Lake hosting Louisville. Back to the Federal League. Glen Oak will be at North Canton Hoover. And an EBC showdown at Mount Union Stadium in Alliance. The Alliance Aviators will welcome in the Carrollton Warriors. That's week 6, September the 25th. Our AM game that night, Canfield West Branch. Our FM game, McKinley at Green. Our stream games, Salem Minerva, Jackson Perry, Glen Oak Hoover, Louisville Lake, and Carrollton and Alliance. That is weeks 4, 5, and 6 as we move along here on the Q92 and the AM 1310 WDPN high school football schedule release show here on the Sam Berkwin program. So that is weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In the 5 o'clock hour, we will release our broadcast schedule for games of the weeks 7, 8, 9, and 10. Don't forget, Brian Beatty is going to join us at 4:35 today. Christian from 1310 WDPN and Q92 Sports, he'll join us at 5:10 coming up here this afternoon. You hear the music, you know what time it is. It's time for Sammy's Best Bet. We're going to go back to baseball. We're going to go back to California. We missed on this one a couple of nights ago. This whole series between the Boston Red Sox and the Athletics has been unbelievably low scoring. I can't explain it. I don't have a reason for it. But there is no way in the world that they're going to play a third game in this series and it's going to go under. I know the ERAs don't say over, but I'm sorry. No way. These teams are getting out the bats tonight, and we're going to go over. They call this a flyer in the business. Athletics and the Red Sox, big number. Somebody knows something. The total was 10.5. We're going to go over. The Athletics and the Boston Red Sox over the 10.5 tonight out in California. That is Sammy's best bet of the night. All right? All right. News and weather coming up next, and Brian Beatty from Q92 Sports on the way.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. Man who gave his son the gun he used in a deadly high school shooting in Georgia has been sentenced to 15 years in prison. Colin Gray was convicted of charges including second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter after his then 14-year-old son, Colt Gray, used the weapon to kill 2 students and 2 teachers at Appalachia High School in September 2024. Colt Gray was sentenced Tuesday to life in prison without parole. Prosecutors say his father gave the boy the rifle as a Christmas gift. U.S. forces launched new airstrikes against Iran Wednesday, while earlier, and for the first time, the Saudi military joined with the U.S. in striking Iranian-based militias in Iraq. CENTCOM announced the attacks with the Saudis targeted Iran-aligned terrorists that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps directed to attack U.S. forces and Saudi energy infrastructure. In Iran itself, public executions by the regime on Tuesday drew crowds of dissent. Retired Navy Vice Admiral Robert Harward, former deputy CENTCOM commander, said the development means foreign governments are taking part in the fighting now where they hadn't before. He said the people came out to protest and they had to shoot them down to prevent them from overwhelming the execution team. GDP growth came in below expectations for the second quarter. The U.S. economy expanded 1.5% during the April-June period, down from 2.1% in the first 3 months of the year. Consumer spending was the largest driver of second quarter growth, surging 3.2%, up from 0.5% in the first quarter. Gross private domestic investment also contributed to the expansion, climbing 3%. Exports jumped more than 4%. Positive slightly offset by a surge in imports and a decline in government spending. The GDP price index, average change in prices of all goods and services produced domestically, rose by more than 6%, much higher than the consensus forecast of 3.6%. U.S. Customs and Border Protection has identified more than $1 billion in unpaid import duties owed to the government. CBP issued 14 notices under the Enforce and Protect Act involving products including lumber, pipes, metal lockers, solar cells, xanthan gum, wooden furniture, and tow-behind lawn groomers. The duties are owed under EAPA, which targets importers evading anti-dumping and countervailing duties. It's the first time in the 10-year history CBP has assessed more than $1 billion in duty evasion. That's 300% above the program's annual average. The Kumamoto prefectural government says the earthquake that hit southern Japan earlier this week has killed at least 25 people. The magnitude 7.1 quake Tuesday set off an explosion at a mall, toppled a factory chimney, and flattened homes on Japan's southern main island of Kyushu. Number of those missing was unclear. The quake left at least 86 injured, 5 seriously. Several potent aftershocks were reported. In Kashima, a shopping complex suffered a partial collapse with thousands of people inside. Officials were able to evacuate roughly 3,000 people before a gas explosion rocked another section of the building. The Kumamoto Castle, which dates to the early 17th century, also reported damage. 81 degrees at 4:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
This weather is brought to you by Grove Appliance Furniture and Mattress. Local, trusted, and family-owned for 90 years. With a huge selection of appliances, furniture, and mattresses to go with unmatched customer service. No sign of any rain during the afternoon hours today. Bright sunshine and blue skies all day long. Look for a high of 81 warm degrees. Overnight clear and starry, dry, quiet. Our low 58. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Rediscover the comfort of home with Grove Appliance Furniture and Mattress, your hometown spot for comfort, quality, and style. From sleek new appliances that make life easier to furniture that actually fits the way you live, Grove helps you create a space that feels like home. And with hundreds of fabric options, you can make it completely your own. Don't forget about their design center. If you're looking for a complete overhaul, they can help you with all of it, from cabinets and countertops to backsplashes and sleek appliances. Their local team takes time to find out exactly what you need. No pressure, no guessing, just honest advice and real service. And if you're upgrading on a budget, check out Grove's Scratch and Dent Room, where small imperfections mean big savings on top brands. Because when your home feels right, everything else just works. Grove Appliance Furniture and Mattress. Hometown comfort. Made simple.
Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home.
Welcome back to the Sam Berkman Show. Hope you are doing well. Another gorgeous day here in Alliance, all over Northeast Ohio. Sunshine and blue skies, baby. Bring it on. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. Q92 Radio YouTube channel. The chat is open. Get some good stuff in there today. Going to be checking in with Brian Beatty from Q92 Sports coming up here in a minute. Mark says, I just enjoy staying home and listening to the high school football games on the radio and the stream. Guardians won't do anything at the trade deadline. I've got ticket stubs from the Indians' last World Series ever at Municipal Stadium. Nice. That's very cool. 3-question Thursday quiz, by the way. You can keep firing those comments into us. Question number 1, about how many high school football games do you attend per year? Question number 2, MLB trade deadline coming up Monday. Will the Guardians buy or will they sell? Question number 3, what is your most prized possession as far as sports memorabilia is concerned? Get those comments in. You can also text them at 330-944-5179. If you're just joining us, special show today, the 2026 high school football schedule release program, as we have released our broadcast schedule for our high school football games so far for weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We will release our broadcast schedule for weeks 7 through 10 coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Christian from Q92 Sports will also stop by early in the 5 o'clock block. Browns training camp continues today. We'll check in with Todd Monken a little bit later on. Hear from Nick Sirianni from the Philadelphia Eagles and Baker Mayfield from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Guards are off today. Diamondbacks are coming in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But the high school football season is bearing down on us. It's going to be here before you know it. We kick things off Thursday night doubleheader. August the 20th on Q92, Fairless and Sandy Valley. Our YouTube game that night, Jackson at Chardon. Going to be fun. Brian Beatty, we'll be calling that game. Fairless Falcons at Sandy Valley, the opener, week 1 here on the Q92 and, of course, the Q92 Sports Network. And we are certainly looking forward to that. How you doing this afternoon, B?
Great, Sammy. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for coming on. I'm excited to be working with you doing some football. Heck, we've already called some baseball games. We've called some softball games. Now we're getting into our element. We'll be calling some football here all season long on our sister station, 92.5 FM Q92. But I'm looking forward to it, partner. And, hey, man, you played the game at the high school level. You played at the big-time college level. But it kind of all comes back home, doesn't it? It all comes back to Stark County. And how excited are you to fire up a high school football season, slap those headsets on, and let's get after it?
I'm ready to get after it. As you can tell, I'll just do this real quick here. I put on an old Danny Wilson jersey.
Oh, my God.
Broadcast.
35, right?
It's a newer jersey, and Danny can have this after the broadcast if I can get it off. I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to get it off. And make them a little bit tighter than what they used to. So I'm in it. But, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm looking forward to this upcoming season. This will be my 3rd year doing it, and I have the honor of working with Q92 Sports. And it's been, the last 2 years with Clint. It's been an honor. And now with the legend Sam, I'm looking forward to it. And like you said, we did some softball and baseball together. We worked well, and let's get this football season going.
Look at that jersey.
You get one look. That's it, because it's not flattering. Let's just put
I got a question.
Yeah.
How in the world, when you and Danny played, would you ever get that jersey on over your ginormous shoulder pads?
You get the linemen to help you. They weren't as tight. Honestly. We had them a little bit baggier than this. I don't know how these kids get into these things. They can make them tighter, but the shoulder pads are a lot smaller now, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, they don't wear much of anything. So, the shoulder pads.
Yeah, you being in the sporting business and the sporting goods business, I'm going to ask you. And I always watch old film from high school, college, and pro. 70s, 80s, even the early 90s. Why were shoulder pads so big back then, and why now are they there's almost nothing to them, especially for like the quarterback and the skilled guys?
Yeah, it's just as technology, has gotten better with the padding. It's placed right where it needs to be for the protection. It's just the padding. It started with lineman shoulder pads getting smaller. Is what we saw probably 15, 16 years ago, and then it just involved with the the DBs wanted smaller so they could be quicker. And, I would fit like Walsh University and at that time Malone, and these kids wanted these small shoulder pads on. Well, they weren't protecting them. Then, the manufacturers started making pads where they were covering where they need covered with the protection. And, they slowly just had the protection where they needed to be. And there was just no, problem with, covering where it needed covered with just less and less of the heavy plastic material on there. You see kids now, their knee pads are just skill pads. They're as big as a quarter sometimes. And, you see the college kids, they have them up over their knees. They don't even have knee pads on. And, the helmets have gotten lighter. They've just made the kids faster, which, that becomes somewhat of a problem too. You get a kid that's, just running stronger and faster, and the game is just involved. So
kids look so different in uniforms now. And I got to ask, when you played and you said, "Hey, coach, what do you think about these pants? I'm going to have them halfway up my thigh." How would that have gone over back then?
No, not even close. Now, we were allowed tucking the jersey up, the old, we could have it, the belly showing back then. That we were allowed getting away with. They can't get away with that anymore. But, there was no such thing. You had the big thigh pads on, the knee pads. Actually, I sold a couple years ago a pair of pants, and the company, I won't say the company's name, actually sold the pants and didn't even put thigh pockets in them anymore. They didn't think the kids wore thigh pads anymore, which they do. But, a lot of them, they got girdles with all the pads. Yeah, we could talk about equipment for a long time. Believe it.
It is crazy.
It changed a lot, yeah.
Hip pads and the shoulder pads, the neck rolls. Geez, They look so different nowadays. Brian Beatty, I guess, the Q92 Sports will be partnering up with Ryan Bevere to bring you high school football all season long on our sister station, 92.5 FM Q92. So we get underway with Fairless and Sandy Valley. We come back. Let me see here. What did I do with the rest of our schedules? I got stuff. Brian, you would not. Yeah, you probably would believe what it looks like in here right now.
We got McKinley and Harding.
Yeah, we got McKinley Harding on the Friday. We got Sandy Valley and Fairless on the Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
AJ's got some guys coming back. You were at the 7-on-7 scrimmage the other day. Obviously, they're going to show a lot of stuff there, but I think AJ's going to have a pretty nice club. Sandy looks like they're kind of struggling. They've had a lot of changes there. Coaches, they've lost some kids. The new athletic director looks like they're kind of going through a little hiccup right now. But just Fairless to Sandy Valley, what would we kind of maybe look for in our opener?
Yeah, that's a tough one to call. Like I said, I think Fairless, has one of the, there's not a lot of long tenured coaches in the county right now, and Fairless is one of the, AJ is one of the longer tenured coaches, so he has the program rolling for sure. So, and Sandy Valley, like you said, I think it's it's a rebuilding process down there. So I think we're going to see. I don't know what we're going to see offensively, defensively from them, but it will be kind of a rebuilding program. But it's week one, anything can happen. It's one where you got to eliminate the mistakes, and I think that's what's going to be a big part of that ball game for sure.
Any chance that Cameron Blair walks through the door at Sandy Valley?
They would have their fingers crossed. Yes, that would be a big benefit for them. But yeah, like I said, I did get to watch them play. They had a nice quarterback. They have a number 5. I didn't get his name. A nice wideout, very aggressive, a bigger kid. So yeah, that's I think Fairless probably has the upper hand in that ball game going in.
So Friday night we'll be at almost said Paul Brown, Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, and the Camp McKinley Bulldogs will open up. Tell them you're busy. Warren Harding, that'll be at 7 o'clock. Harding looks like they're going through some changes. McKinley, a second year for Coach Renzi Parnell. They got some transfers in. A new quarterback they're kind of breaking in. He started for the JV squad last year. What do we make of McKinley? What do we know about the Pups?
I think Renzi is his second year. He has his system in place. We see that a lot this upcoming year, second year coaches now. And I think he has mentality starting to build, and these kids are buying into his program, what he wants, these Pups to become, and what the future of McKinley football is going to look like. And what I'm hearing, we gave, I've seen that young kid, the quarterback, I'm misplacing his name right now. I think he's going to be a very athletic kid. He has a nice ball, but he's going to give you a chance to run and be very athletic. And with the running backs they have in that backfield, that gives them a lot of options offensively. And they're, McKinley kids are always going to be tough defensively too. They're going to get after you at the ball. The biggest thing with McKinley in the past, and I saw it a lot better last year, they got to get rid of the mental mistakes, and I've seen a great improvement with that last year. So hopefully they continue that, and I see great improvements again this year with the Bulldogs.
They cut their mistakes, Brian, I think it was more than half.
Yeah, at least.
They keep going down that. They're going down that alley. They're going to be even tougher to go up against. Braylon Crook, he will be the quarterback this year.
Yes.
5'7", they got him about 175 pounds. Not a big kid, but looks like he could maybe scoot a little bit, and that would keep defenses definitely on their toes. Brian Beatty, our guest, Q92 Sports. We will be calling games all season long on 92.5 FM Q92. High school football returns here in less than 3 weeks. So we got Fairless Sandy Valley, Harding McKinley week 1. Week 2 will be over at Lake as the Blue Streaks take on Boardman. Will have the nice open air press box. Hopefully it'll be a nice night over there in Hartville. What do we make of the Blue Streak this year, Brian? Here's the team again that you hope that they can just stay healthy, at least early on, right?
Yeah, that was a big problem last year with with the George going down early. That really hurt them. But once again, Lake, the depth, they always find kids that'll step up, and they're always physical up front. They play a physical game, and you got to give Coach DeGeorge. He's the old man in Stark County. He's the longest tenured coach. It's amazing to say that, but he's the longest tenured coach, and he just knows how. Those kids are battle tested. They're ready to play year in, year out. He has a great youth program. They come up, they're physical. They'll get after you. They don't complain about being one of the smallest schools in the Federal League. They're going to come up and play it, each night. You're going to get their best no matter what. They don't make a lot of mental mistakes. And once again, you'll probably see a couple quarterbacks. You'll probably see DeGeorge here, there, all over the field. He's an athlete that just makes plays, and and I'm looking forward. I think Keller said earlier he was one of his surprise teams, and I agree with him 100%.
Yeah, and a great place to call a game from too.
Oh, isn't it? And the pepperoni rolls are the best.
Games. Oh my God! Oh, don't get me started. All right, week 3. I'm looking forward to this because I don't get to see a lot of Wadsworth. I don't know if you've seen a lot of Wadsworth over the years. I did a little bit when I was up in Akron years ago. Coach Todd, he may be one of my all-time favorite high school football coaches. What a program he runs. I think Wadsworth Jackson week 3 is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. As a player and as a coach, you have to take games, week by week. As being what we do now as an announcer, I can look forward to things. And I'm looking forward to week 3. There's no doubt. Wadsworth might be one of the best teams in the state, and in their region might be 4 or 5. Honestly, in that region, Division II is just loaded. But they are a great team, and I know Coach Todd somewhat. I know a lot of coaches have coached with him. He is just a X and O guru, and very, very, very knowledgeable at the game. But then Jackson with Coach Rohr, what a change! That's one thing I've seen in the last going into my 3rd year. The attitude change at Jackson football is amazing. It's Coach Rohr's attitude, and I love that. He has put his attitude and stamp on that program. And I said this last year, that Molleman boy is one of the best quarterbacks in the county, and I'll stand behind it. I saw him dismantle Lake last year. He really throws a nice ball. He is a big individual that throws a really, really nice football, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of people this year. He went back and forth with the Eckerman boy. He had some injuries and, back and forth, but I think it'll probably be his job. And, they have some kids that are coming back. I know they have a sophomore quarterback that's an elite athlete that's probably going to get a lot of time at wide out and backup quarterback also. But, that's a game. It's going to open a lot of eyes both ways. And that's one I have it circled for sure.
That's gonna be fun. Yeah. Ryan Beatty, our guest, Q92 Sports, talking high school football here during the 2026 high school football schedule release program on 1310 WDPN, the Sam Berkwood Show. All right, week 4, we're going to make a trip over to North Cam, it looks like, as the Vikings will take on the Green Bulldogs. I don't know a lot about Green this year. I think maybe they're going through some changes, but Hoover by week 4, we'll know what they're all about.
Yeah, I always said Coach Geist, Green probably has the best overall staff in the county, honestly, from top to bottom. Their coaching staff is one of the tops. They probably have, probably the smallest group, the number, I guess, of kids out, sophomore through seniors roster-wise, but he absolutely gets the most out of every kid that plays. I truly believe that. So, they could have 30 kids on the roster, but he's going to get the most out of them. And then Coach Baum, he has a lot to replace. Andy's is probably one of my favorite high school kids I've gotten to watch in the last years. So, he has some, but he has his stamp on the pro. He's one of the longer tenured coaches in the county too. And I think he has it going the way he wants to. So yeah, that'll be a nice Federal League matchup. We're finally, that'll be our first Federal League game, if I'm not mistaken. We'll start getting that Federal League battle going, and we'll be at Hoover, and we'll have the sun in our eyes early and ready to get after it.
Hopefully the shades are pulled down when I get there.
There you go.
I'll be there at like 2 p.m. I'll be sunburned by the time you
There
get
you go.
Week 5, we go back to the Benny. Tom Benson of Kent McKinley hosting the Perry Panthers. Coach Spencer Leno, Brian, I really like what he's doing. This is going to be a fun matchup. Perry, couple wrinkles here, couple wrinkles there, doing some different things. They got the attitude back. This will be fun.
Yes. Yeah. He and this is year 2 for Coach Leno, and I think he's putting his stamp on the program. And, everything you hear about the Perry program is it's a sophomore class that's coming up. And I don't think Coach really wants to hear that. I think he wants to win now. There's no doubt. So Perry's going to be a problem for some Federal League teams. I think, I can't say I haven't been around the program all summer, but I think Coach Leno is putting his stamp on this program, and Perry's going to be a problem. I'm looking forward, by week 5, we'll have a little bit of understanding where they're at, and we're going to have an understanding where McKinley's at, and this will be another great matchup.
Week 6. And this, as far as we've gotten on the schedule released today, weeks 7, 8, 9, and 10 coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. FM game where we will be at Green this time, as McKinley will be on the road to take on the Green Bulldogs. This will be another couple of weeks for Coach Geist to get things going. And I think maybe by week 6, we'll have a really good idea on what the Pups will have in store for the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, we'll be pretty well solid now. I think week 6, you have an understand where everyone's going to be. You'll have pretty good understanding where the computer points are. So, yeah, we'll be pretty solid there. Love to see a great matchup, that week. I want to say my first year, that was Jackson. I misspoken there. I thought that was the one that bounced off the guy. That was the last second touchdown. That was Jackson Green at Green. So I had a crazy game the last time I was at Green. So that should be a good one too. So yeah, anytime in Federal League week 6, why not?
Going to be fun. Again, that's only the first 6 weeks, and we got a lot more action to come. And of course, we'll be releasing that schedule here on 1310 WDPN, the show coming up here in the 5 o'clock hour. Over the years, Brian, playing and coaching and being around everything, what is the biggest change in Stark County football for you over the decades? Anything that really stick out to you?
Biggest change over the decades, no, I still see the passion. I still see Friday nights, and it's great now being able to go to, going in my 3rd year here, be able to see other schools and the way they celebrate this game on Friday night. The passion, I've been a diehard Leopard, and seeing the Friday nights in Louisville is great, but seeing the excitement at all the other schools, seeing my daughter at West Branch here these last couple of years, and seeing, you smell it in the air, you see it. I had the opportunity to coach a little bit down in Kentucky. You don't have that Friday nights. We're blessed here, especially in Stark County. So we still have that tradition, and I hope we continue that. The numbers are down. You hear that from every coach you talk to. I see that it just in the reconditioning and the laundry service business wise. You see the numbers are down. Kids are looking for that instant gratification, but there's still kids out there that are busting their butt all summer and just still love this game of football. And that, you still, those Friday nights, it's still special around here. The band, the smells, the crowds, the noises, it's great. It's special for sure.
And it just goes so doggone fast. I think we realize the older that we get that, boy, it goes even faster. Hey, while I got you, we'll get the 3-question Thursday quiz. I'm going to throw this at you real quick before we wrap up.
I didn't even look at it today. I'm going to be in trouble.
All right, question 1. You don't need, because the question was, on an average, how many high school games do you go to a year? We don't have to worry about that. Question number 2. Trade deadline for Major League Baseball coming up Monday. Do you believe the Guardians will buy or sell?
I think they'll probably stay neutral. I really do.
I'm afraid you're right.
I think they'll stay neutral. I just don't think they're. What do they have to give, and what's out there? I don't. Is there any big name? I guess that's to my own fault. They're not really. Is there any big names that we would go after, Sam? I mean,
the problem, because everybody thinks they're still in it, so they're not putting any.
I mean, that's what with this playoff system way it is. You got so many teams that are on the bubble that still have their fingers crossed that what names you're going to pick up. You know, that's what's kind of. I just don't see any earth-shattering movements. You know, you got to make your moves early or preseason, I guess. And I think next year with contracts and everything, you're not going to see any movement no matter what. That we can get in that's a whole nother show.
Kidding. Yeah. All right, question number 3. I'm looking forward to this answer from you.
Okay.
What is your most prized possession of sports memorabilia?
Ooh, prized possession of sports memorabilia. Ooh. Wow. I have a lot of autographs, a lot of photos with a lot of different people. I got a chance to have dinner with Tommy Lasorda. That was one of my top.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
nice.
We after a baseball banquet down in Louisville. But, you know, one of the best things that ever happened, it was with Sammy, my daughter. We had a chance to meet Steph Curry, and it's her favorite. After a Cavs game, and he signed her shoes and stuff. I guess that was it's hers.
Nice.
Curry pair of shoes. I have a Gil Sayers autograph on a photo with her and stuff. So a lot of different ones, but I guess the Curry shoes are probably the top ones. Yeah.
That's a pretty good item. Brian Beatty, appreciate your time, man. Looking forward to working with you all season long.
Yeah.
Looking forward to sharing the meeting room with you here over the next couple of weeks on Wednesday.
Those are the best. Hey, and just to get it out there, we have plenty. We're looking for advertisements for these games. We have great opportunities. I mean, the number of people we get to and the advertisements we can get to. It's great opportunities for people out there are listening. Want to get their business out there. We do just individual games if you want some spirit. Just for your high schools, individual games, or if you want to get on the broadcast with Sammy and I, we have some different opportunities. You can reach out to the station, and we can get a hold of you and get you taken care of for sure.
We'll make your business pop. That is a guarantee between the radio and the social media and all the different media we can bring to you this year. Your business, it'll be well worth your investment. So if you want to get on board, reach out to somebody here at the radio station or stations, and we will take good care of you. B. Beatty, always a pleasure, my brother. I will talk to you soon. Thanks again.
Sounds great. Thanks, Sammy.
There he goes, Brian Beatty from Q92 Sports. This is the 2026 high school football schedule release show here at the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Weeks 1 through 6 are in the books. Coming up at the 5 o'clock hour, we will release our broadcast schedule for our AM games, our FM games, and our stream games for weeks 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll also check in with Christian from 1310 WDPN and Q92 Radio. We'll talk a little high school football with Christian as well. 2 hours in, 1 more to go. Let's hang out together. 60 more minutes. 1310 WDPN.
Keeping Alliance entertained and informed for over a half a century. AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. The closing bell had a different tone today, recovering more than half the losses from the worst sell-off in the Dow in more than a year, led by Microsoft's best earnings in 18 years. The Dow climbing 614. The FBI is aware of cyber attacks this week at more than 30 water plants across Minnesota. It did not confirm suspicions by some state and local officials that Iranian hackers may be to blame. After President Trump said he may pull the nomination of Todd Blanche for Attorney General, Blanche met today with the men blocking the vote, John Cornyn and Tom Tillis. Senator Cornyn is a no because Blanche hasn't fully abandoned the compensation fund President Trump wants.
I know that Todd Blanche understands it, but I think he's probably getting some pushback from the White House, and that's making things more complicated than it needs to be.
Georgia father Colin Gray sentenced to 15 years for ignoring warning signs when his son killed 4 people at a high school. This is ABC News.
You've got a big day.
So you use Unstoppable scent boosters to give your laundry nonstop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppable speeds to your wash for 24-hour nonstop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. Suspect in a Canton shooting is behind bars. 41-year-old Stephen Gales of Canton arrested Wednesday and charged with felonious assault with a firearm specification. Gales' arraignment scheduled for Friday in municipal court. He was recently named the U.S. Marshals Service Fugitive of the Week. Police found 20-year-old Carlito Yerian of Canton covered in blood after a July incident at Skyline Terrace Apartments on Allen Page Drive Southeast. Yerian was taken to Waltman Hospital for treatment. Canton neighborhood was shaken by a house explosion that sent 2 people to hospitals. The blast destroyed a home in the 1600 block of Bonnet Place Northeast around 4 this morning. One man suffered severe burns and was taken to Mercy Hospital before being transferred to the Akron Children's Hospital burn unit. Second person was later found and also taken to Akron Children's. The fire department and state fire marshal are investigating the cause. Due to the extent of damage caused by the explosion, multiple nearby homes were evacuated. A preliminary hearing scheduled September 3rd for an Alliance police sergeant charged with felony child endangering. 27-year-old Ethan Griffith of Canfield was arraigned today and released after posting bond. Police allege he struck a 4-year-old boy while the child was visiting his mother and Griffith, who is her fiancé, at White House Fruit Farm in Canfield Sunday. The boy reportedly suffered marks to his face. Griffith was also sentenced this week to probation, a license suspension, and fines in a separate OVI case. Canton police say a woman was shot, bitten on the head, and struck with a handgun during an assault on McKinley Avenue Northwest the night of June 9th. 46-year-old Damon Gomez of Canton is accused of shooting the woman in the foot as she was running away. He was indicted Wednesday on charges of attempted murder, felonious assault, strangulation, having weapons under disability, and being a repeat violent offender. Gomez is scheduled to be arraigned Friday in common pleas court. It's being held in the Starr County Jail on $75,000 bond. Man from Canton scheduled to be arraigned Friday after a Starr County grand jury reduced the charge against him. Police say 20-year-old Johnny Range stomped on the head of a 63-year-old man as he lay unconscious following a June 18th assault near Walnut Avenue and 9th Street Northeast in Canton. Victim was hospitalized with serious injuries. The charge was reduced from attempted murder to felonious assault. Range remains in the Starr County Jail on $1 million bond. New health clinic coming to Alliance High School to serve students, school employees, and area residents. Alliance Family Health Center and Alliance City Schools say the school-based center is scheduled to open by March of next year. The clinic will offer family medicine, women's health, behavioral health, pharmacy, and care coordination services. Officials say the goal is to improve access to health care, reduce barriers, and help keep students healthy and ready to learn. Shakespeare, food, and fun, all part of today's event, says the Greater Alliance Carnation Festival gets underway. Shakespeare at the Castle beginning at 7 at Glamorgan Castle. The Carnation Food Fest runs from 4 until 9 at the University of Mount Union Campus Lakes. And a scavenger hunt is taking place at locations throughout Alliance. Swimmers are allowed to return to West Branch Lake after state officials lifted an E. coli advisory. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources removed the warning Wednesday afternoon after high bacteria levels. It prompted a swimming advisory for the main beach. The advisory was issued Tuesday when tests showed E. coli levels above the state's recreational water safety standard. Kaylin Jones of Salem pleaded guilty Wednesday to 2 misdemeanor counts of vehicular homicide in Columbiana County Court. The 26-year-old was accused of falling asleep while driving on Georgetown Road in September 2024, crossing into oncoming traffic and striking a vehicle carrying Richard and Joanne Heiner. The Salem couple died in the crash. Sentencing set for next Wednesday. The guilty pleas ended the need for a trial in a Madison Township shooting. 23-year-old Hunter Congrove of Lisbon pleaded guilty Tuesday to felonious assault, a firearm specification, and tampering with evidence. Prosecutors will dismiss a kidnapping charge. Deputies say Congrove shot a man in the leg in March 2025 before fleeing the scene. The victim was airlifted to a Pittsburgh hospital. Sentencing set for August 28th in Columbiana County Common Pleas Court. A Lisbon area man has been released on bond after pleading not guilty to charges in a shooting involving his mother. 27-year-old Robert Vaughn entered the pleas Wednesday in Columbiana County Municipal Court. He's charged with felonious assault and domestic violence. Authorities say his mother told deputies he fired 3 shots at her during a Tuesday argument at their Elkton Township home. She was not injured. Bond was set at $50,000. A preliminary hearing set for Wednesday. Youngstown police say they believe a fatal shooting on that city's south side was a targeted attack. 20-year-old man was found with multiple gunshot wounds just after 3 Wednesday afternoon near Glenwood and West Indianola Avenues. Witnesses told police the victim was running toward an auto dealership when he was shot. One person has been questioned. Police saying that individual is not a suspect. About the following funeral announcements. Service for Patricia Ann Jones, Saturday at 3 o'clock at Alliance Friends Church. Arrangements by Sheriff Sterling Skivalaki. Service for 93-year-old Margaret Bowman of Alliance, Monday at 11 o'clock at St. Joseph Catholic Church in Alliance. Arrangements by Sheriff Sterling Skivalaki. 81 degrees at 5:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
81 degrees for your afternoon high today. Picture perfect weather. Low humidity, staying dry, and abundant amounts of bright sunshine and blue skies. No reason not to get outside. Overnight clear and starry. Another great night for stargazing. Lows in the upper 50s. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
I drive, deep right field. Goodbye. Kyle Manzardo with another home run, his 4th against Cincinnati this year. In the air, shallow left, long run for Johnson. Will he get there? No, it's going to
How about that?
And Jose, after a big turn,
He's going.
he's going to go to second base. The ball got by Ellie De La Cruz. He might go to third. He's off to the races. There's the throw. Not in time. He's unbelievable. Dumps this one into center field. It's going to drop. Here comes Christian Peters to play the play. Save! White Sox walk it off and beat the Yankees in 12. Swing, shot, hammer, towards the gap. That's down. That's going to tie it. Here comes Walker on his way to third. Pops waving. Here's the relay. The Cardinals have won it.
AM 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show as we come to you live and direct from the Palatial Estates on Smith Avenue in the Carnation City of Alliance, Ohio. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. You can check us out live on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We got the chat open. A lot of you getting in there today. Appreciate all the interaction, not only today, but Monday through Friday between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Special day for us today here on the show. Big day. The 2026 high school football broadcast release schedule today. We have released our first 6 weeks of our game broadcast between WDPN, our sister station, FM Q92, and the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We are going to be releasing our broadcast schedule for week 7, 8, 9, and 10 coming up in less than 30 minutes. Christian is going to be joining us from Q92 Sports, and 1310 WDPN coming up here in a couple of minutes. Want to thank Keller for joining us earlier in the show and Brian Beatty as well. Guardians are off today. The Diamondbacks will be in town for a weekend series at Progressive Field. Guards took care of the Reds last night. Cleveland now just a game and a half behind Chicago in the American League Central Division. Browns training camp continuing today. Guess who showed up at camp today? Daddy Deion. Deion Sanders showed up at camp today, was watching his son Shador throw the ball around the yard a little bit and go through some drills. So day number 2 of camp in Berea with the Browns underway. We got our 3-question Thursday quiz. We'll throw that out here to you. Question number 1, on or about how many high school football games do you think that you attend every year? How many do you think you'll go to this year? Question number 2, MLB trade deadline is Monday. Will the Guardians buy or will the Guardians sell? Question number 3, think about this one. Maybe take a trip down to your basement, your attic, the garage. What is your most prized possession of sports memorabilia? 330-821-1310. Get your comments in on all of our social media platforms. Quick scoreboard update for you. Boy, the Twins. Wow. What a game in Minnesota today. One swing of the bat, and the Twins come back to beat the Royals today on a walk-off 4-3. Tampa beat Texas 3-2. Games in progress. Wow. Keep our eyes on this one. Top of the 11th inning. Yankees and the White Sox are tied at 1. Yanks with 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 10th. Cubs lead the Cardinals by the score of 4-2. All right, we're going to get back into our high school football mode here on 1310 WDPN. Don't forget, we'll release our broadcast schedule for week 7, 8, 9, and 10 coming up here just after 5:35. Right now, happy to bring in our special guest, the man who wears more hats than the Mad Hatter, Christian, joining us here on 1310 WDPN on the Sam Bourquin Show to talk some high school football, break the schedule down a little bit, and let everybody know how they can consume all of our great coverage coming up here in 2026. How we doing, Mr. Chicago Bear? How's your day going?
We're doing good. We're hanging in there. Long day at work as always. We are, all of us. We're all hard at work getting ready for this season that's 3 weeks away. You are. Rainsburg is, I am, Keller is, Beatty. We're all. Trust for us. We're already in training camp.
Q92 Sports. We are.
We are already in training camp mode, and we are getting ready. It's been so fun to listen and watch the show today, Sam, and see this cool way we're trying to, let everyone see what we're going to be doing this season, where you're going to be able to see us, any of our 7 play-by-play teams that we're going to have this year, and 10th year of high school football with Q92 and AM 1310 WDPN. And I couldn't be more excited about this one. I used to not be excited at all when season started. But when we first started, but now, this is incredible. Last year was incredible. And this year, I think we are going to take it. My hopes are we're going to take it to a whole nother level. And it really is starting to look that way, like we're going to be able to pull this off.
I tell you what, I'm excited too. Our 10th anniversary. Boy, how fast time goes. 10 years in the books, and now we're cranked up and ready to go. Before we get into some discussion, and you can jump in here too. I did want to let everybody know about all of our broadcast, who our broadcast teams are. For games on AM, on FM, and our Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We will start with AM. You and Derek Dimmitt will be our broadcast team for games on 1310 this year. I will be on the FM Q92 with Brian Beatty and Ryan Bevere. And then our stream games. And you know what? When you do as many games as we do, you got to you got to go out there and you got to get people that come in and can do a great job. And we certainly have that. Matt Corrali and Robert Coleman, one of our YouTube broadcast teams. Of course, Keller will be with Mike Kelly this year. Looking forward to listening to them grow as they go through the year. Mike Voorhees and Mike Dixon, another one of our broadcast teams. Jay Wilhelm will be teaming up with former Glen Oak Golden Eagle Steve Gilbert. I'm anxious to listen to those guys. My partner from last year, Caleb Norick, is now shifting over to play-by-play. He will be with Ryan Rowland. And those games will, again, also be on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel and all of our streaming platforms. And, of course, you got to have great teamwork, man. And I think we got that here. We got some great talent, and we have talent that's going to cover the talent for you.
Yeah, that's the thing. And 2 new additions this year. But other than that, everyone that's back this year has been with us at some capacity for at least a year, if not more. You talk about a Matt Corrali, a guy that's done television for ESPN Plus, for Kent State, things like that. You look, Jay Wilhelm, a veteran that's been covering Stark County football for us for a long time. Michael Voorhees has been here for years. Keller's been here for years. But you have people like the Robert Colemans, who's like a history book. You got them all. Roland, he is also he's like the mayor. He knows everybody. I mean. But the cool thing is all these names we're mentioning and all these people we're talking about, and I don't mean to leave anybody out, is they're all from here. They all grew up on some level, either growing up raised on Stark County sports, or like in my case, in Keller's case, Little Mahoning County, Trumbull County sports. We all know what Northeast Ohio, what high school football means to Northeast Ohio, and we all take pride in broadcasting these games. We all take pride in getting you the video interviews that you see on social media afterwards. We all take pride in getting those photo galleries, because sometimes you guys love to go back, and the parents love to go on Instagram, on Facebook, and see we got a good picture of their kid or their daughter, the cheerleader, or someone in the band, because we try to post pictures of the band, of the crowds, of the cheerleaders, of the game, everything. And we just want to bring high school football to you guys in as many different ways as possible. Obviously with the radio broadcast with Q92 and AM 1310 WDPN, but then allowing you to hear every Friday night 5 additional games live on YouTube, some of them on our social media as well. Be able to see the live scoreboards when you're sitting there listening. Be able to put that game up on your smart TV if you're sitting at home on a September night. Maybe you want to go out on the back deck and listen to the game, and you're like, hey, these guys won't say the score. Well, the score will be they should say the score, but the score will be right there on the screen for you the whole time. And we just want to give you guys as much content as we can, whether that be the audio of the game, the photo galleries, the interviews, and as many ways to find it as you can. And that's where the social media comes into it. It's so important. That's why, like I said, we go there, we get those interviews, we get those pictures, and we try to bring you the best broadcast we can. And we put just as much effort into a D7 school, and you know this, Sam, that we cover, as we do a D1 school. We don't look down on any division. We don't not want to go to any high school. We have our awesome powerhouses in Division 1, 2, and 3, but we have some awesome teams in Divisions 4 through 7. And I promise you, if you look at the schedules that's being released and you go back and look at it, you're going to see we're everywhere, every division, showing off these amazing high schools in Stark County.
Yep. If you got room at the end, we'll be there. All right.
Yeah,
that's how it
basically
goes.
Yeah.
Also want to shout out our behind the scenes crew on Friday nights this year. Of course, Ryan Rainsberg, he'll be rocking and rolling on Friday nights. Pedro, Pete Peterson joining us this year. And of course, Jake back in the fold as well. So without those folks, we certainly couldn't do what we do either.
You guys have no idea the chaos that they control back here at the station. They've seen any and everything over the years, and I know it was a Christmas present to Rainsberg when I told him Jake was coming back for this football season, because those two have been through the fires, and those two can pretty much handle anything. They've seen anything. But you're right. You may not hear them on Friday nights. You may not see them all the time, but I promise you, nothing that we do is done without those three and the hard work they do, juggling a lot and putting out fires and some stuff you guys have no idea, but it goes on behind the scenes. But they are a huge part of what we do. Huge part.
Christian, our guest here from 1310 WDPN, Q92 Radio, Q92 Sports. Christian, you'll be calling games all year in my old spot last year on 1310 WDPN. And basically, you'll be focusing on Alliance and Marlington and West Branch and some other games, of course, because you got to go out of conference and do a couple of those as well. What excites you most about this year? Because I think things may be a little different as far as the league, what's left of it for one more year, than it was a year ago.
No, it's going to be very exciting. And obviously, I didn't do DPN last year, but previous years I had done DPN almost exclusively. So Derek and I are shifting back to DPN happily. We're well adversed with the EBC, that conference. We love that conference, and good to be back, I guess, to see the finality of it and to see the hey, welcome Howland, enjoy your year. Right. This is the first year they're going to be in it, and the only year they're going to be in it. So it's the change is interesting. We don't know. We know where a couple teams are going. We thought we knew where some other teams were going, and we don't. But I still enjoy the conference. I still enjoy an Alliance Marlington rivalry game. I still enjoy a West Branch Salem game. I still enjoy. We talk about all the awesome stadiums around here, and I could name a bunch of them. There are few picturesque views you can get as good as Carrollton's High School on a Friday night in the fall, looking out past that beautiful football field into that landscape. When I tell you it's a postcard, it's a Bob Ross painting, and it's just a beautiful stadium. And the fans and the communities in the EBC, whether it's Minerva, like I said, West Branch, Carrollton, they love their teams. They always come out. We know when I go to a West Branch game, those stadiums are packed. When I go to a Salem game, it's packed. Anywhere I go, Marlington, packed, and they're great people. They've always treated us at Q92 and AM 1310 very well. So we have thoroughly enjoyed the EBC, and I'm looking forward to it because it could be a little different. Now you got your West Branch, and they're obviously still West Branch. What Coach Cooper's done there is just insane. Incredible. The success he's had, it is a factory. And I know one of the reasons, because I've talked to him about the success he's had, is that his hands are in everything. Not just JV. He pays attention to JV. He pays attention to freshmen. He pays attention to below that. He's watching what's happening. And him and his coaching staff, they don't just coach the starters. They coach the team. So when your name is called upon, whether that be injury or graduation, you're ready to go at West Branch High School. And I think the victories and the records show it. And you look like a quarterback like Grady Hurst, verbally committed to YSU to play some FCS football. I mean, they put a lot of guys. You think of Boston Molnix now, the running back of Baldwin Wallace now. They put a lot of guys in some college ball. Alliance, you look at them, boy, they were hit hard by graduation. Yeah, they were hit really, really hard. But I know Coach Goodman and and what he's instilled there, his program and his work ethic, I know him and his coaching staff are going to be working hard there. Minerva, one of the fun stories of last year was Minerva. I think everybody ended up rooting for Minerva. Coach Slates did. I feel like, God, that was a perfect match for Minerva when he got hired there. And I called a few Minerva games last year, and to see how well coached they were and how competitive they were. And that's a young team. That's a team that started a freshman quarterback. That's the thing with this league, too, that's going to be interesting. You've got two of those teams, Marlington and Minerva, that started freshman quarterbacks that played every game last year, a whole season of conference and non-conference play, coming back here as sophomores, still as the starters. And that's, quarterback play is so important in high school football, at any level of football. That's going to help both of those teams having that experience. So I think it's going to be interesting. Carrollton's always going to be solid. The Carrollton touchdown backers, they are such a fun group, and they support and love that team down there. Salem, Coach Johnson, love him. He's a spicy one, and he's always going to have Salem fighting. They snuck in and got a playoff win last year when they got in. And but it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fun conference. It's kind of bittersweet that this is kind of it as far as the EBC. Not kind of, but it's going to be fun to see it and to see it one more time, one more season of these teams all playing each other. It's going to be fun.
It is, for sure. All right, we got time for, I think, one more, and this may be a little bit of a loaded question. Last time you and I talked, you hinted at some stuff that might be coming as far as our broadcast and stream and our presentation and interaction and different ways you can get different information and things. I don't want to put you on the spot to reveal anything you're not supposed to, but how much are the listeners and our fans that interact with us, how excited do you think they will be once we get things rolled out?
Oh boy. Okay, how do I answer this?
Carefully.
Very carefully, because it's being recorded. We have an opportunity to do something, to be bold enough to try to do something different that could potentially make listening to a game at Q92radiosports.com. Obviously, all our games are on YouTube. All our games are also available on Q92radiosports.com. It's our website. We have stories there, a schedule, all kinds of stuff, scoreboard. But we've been brainstorming, and we've been looking at some things to incorporate some new technologies. And there's a possibility that you could go to Q92radiosports.com on Friday night, click on a game, and not just get a box that says, Lions versus Northwest and a score, but we love our information. We like our information. Give me more. Give me more. We're really attempting to give you so much information that you might step back for a second. We're trying to get it's where we're at now. It's where media is going. It's where radio is going and television is going. We want to get you guys information. We want to get you everything right there, right in front of you. No looking for it. So that's probably the most political answer without getting me in trouble. Because it's still something that we're working on.
Yeah.
And in some instances, I could say we could be a guinea pig, but I don't mind being a guinea pig if the result is where we think we can go with this. And people much smarter than me are very excited working on this, probably as we speak. Now, do I know for a fact that'll be ready week 1 and we're going to be off and running? I can't say that, but can I say it's a possibility to have it ready to go in 3 weeks? It's a possibility.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. So we're working. And here's what happens at work, Sammy. And you know this. Things get told to me, and then I have to make them come to life. And sometimes I don't know how I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
But it's fun to try.
Get them into existence somehow.
Right. But it's fun to try.
Yeah.
It's fun to think like, we love doing the games, and at the heart we're radio stations, but it's 2026 and we have to change, and we have to meet people where they are. And that's why we've done so many great things. And that's why the Sam Berkwin show is doing so well. I love that I can come home. I can put it on my radio and listen to it, but I can come home on my smart TV if I can get my son to turn off Paw Patrol for 5 minutes, and I can put you on and sit and listen to a sports talk show, see your guests. And that's what we're trying to do, not just with your show or with the Q92 morning show on our sister station, but we're trying to do it with sports. And we've got ideas, and we're constantly working. We're constantly trying to take things to the next level. And matter of fact, there was a conversation today, and I went, huh? So, okay. So, I mean, there it was. We're never complacent. I can promise you that, everyone. We're never complacent. We're never not trying to get better, and we're never not trying to improve and bring you guys the best high school sports coverage, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, softball. There's other sports that are getting big, and I promise you this, Q92 Sports is paying attention to that as well. There's another little Easter egg for you. We're paying attention to what's growing and what's becoming big and what's not, and we're not afraid to try other avenues and maybe bring some sports you haven't seen before. So
well, I'll tell you what, we're looking forward to it. That was the epitome of a politically correct answer. I tip my hat to you there. That was the ultimate Fred Astaire tap dance that
it was good. It was. I don't want to say anything, and then if it's not ready week 1, everyone's going, hey,
I really understand.
Yeah, then I got to come back and everyone's like, "Hey, idiot, what'd you say?" I'm like, "Okay, relax." But
that was outstanding. Looking forward to your calls this year on WDPN, covering the games with Derek, and of course checking you out in the mornings with Lauren over on our sister station Q92. Hey man, we got high school football, we got Mount Union, we've got Walsh University. Yeah. It is going to be a loaded fall. We can't wait to get started. Christian, appreciate your time. All your efforts, everything you do. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much, Sammy. Have a great day and love the show as always.
Thank you, sir. Christian, there he goes. Back to Paw Patrol. You're the Sam Berkwin Show on 1310 WDPN, the news and weather next. And then we release our broadcast schedule for weeks 7, 8, 9, and 10. Don't go away.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. U.S. Central Command said Tuesday night it had engaged an airstrike campaign against Iranian proxies in Iraq with the aid of the Saudi Arabian armed forces. CENTCOM described the targets as Iran-aligned terrorists. The airstrikes is necessary in response to attempted bombings of Saudi oil facilities and other high-value targets from Iraq. The Iranian terror regime has sent senior leaders to Iraq to help train members of the various militias known as the Popular Mobilization Forces, which include various Shiite terrorist organizations. The PMF confirmed the strikes Wednesday and claimed to have lost 20 terrorists to the operation. Despite including jihadist terror organizations, it's also a formal wing of the Iraqi armed forces integrated into the military during the conflict over the past decade against the Islamic State Caliphate. Iran reportedly anticipating within weeks the first delivery of Chinese-made shoulder-fired surface-to-air missiles. The shipment reported by Reuters Wednesday. The sources said a Hong Kong company acted as intermediary for the shipment, which seems intended to fill the gaps in Iran's air defenses exposed by U.S. and Israeli strikes. China reportedly stepping in to provide the terrorist state with between 300 and 400 man-portable air defense systems, including the advanced model, which has extended range and can defeat infrared jamming defenses from targeted aircraft. The Department of Homeland Security will fast-track decisions on asylum cases in an effort to cut down the backlog left by the Biden administration. Monday, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Director Joe Edlow announced a change allowing the agency's adjudicators to refer asylum applications to federal immigration judges without first interviewing the applicant. By the end of fiscal year 2024, the asylum backlog surged to 3.6 million cases. At the same time, ICE's docket of those illegal aliens not detained by the agency, but who were pending deportation, ticked up to a record 8.1 million. U.S. citizen who sympathized with Hezbollah and the Iranian regime convicted of federal terrorism charges linked to the stabbing of writer Salman Rushdie. Hadi Matar is already serving a 25-year New York State prison sentence on an attempted murder conviction. Matar, who repeatedly stabbed Rushdie as he was about to give a lecture on writers' safety in Chautauqua, August 12, 2022, was found guilty by a jury in Buffalo of engaging in an act of transnational terrorism. Sentencing is November 3rd. Axios reports a comprehensive survey of experts has revealed concerns about a catastrophic artificial intelligence risk that could materialize over the next few years. The highest rank, with a 21.5% probability, involves AI systems possessing dangerous capabilities that could potentially cause mass harm. Close behind at 21%, the intentional weaponization of AI technology by human actors. The third risk, assessed at 18% probability, concerns power centralization and unfair distribution of AI benefits. Fourth is the race among companies and nations to release the most advanced AI models, possibly resulting in inadequately tested, error-prone systems being deployed. The fifth involves creation and spread of false or misleading information. 81 degrees at 5:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Bright sunshine through your Thursday afternoon. No smoke, very low humidity, feeling good. 81 degrees for the high. Get outside. Overnight clear and starry skies on the way. A little cooler than average, 58 for your low. I am Art J. Weather from 3 News.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Welcome back to the show, 1310 WDP. I want to thank all my guests today. Keller from Q92 Sports, Brian Beatty, Q92 Sports, Christian from Q92 Sports and 1310 WDPN. Thanks to all of you for listening. Our numbers are great today. People watching on YouTube, on X, on Facebook. Awesome stuff. My glasses just fell to the ground. Doing good. Doing good today.
If you need them, let me know.
Yeah, I will. I will. If I have to read anything, you'll be summoned to come
Sam
over
might
and
need
pick
those
these glasses
guys.
up.
We got a comment during the Christian interview from Derek DeMitt. It says, "Hey, that's me."
Okay. 3-question Thursday quiz. Boy, I'll tell you what, the comments on the quiz today have been awesome, especially those of you that are posting about your prized possessions of sports memorabilia. Some of you have some of the coolest stuff, thank you, sir, that I have ever seen in my life. Keep it coming. Question number 1. About how many high school football games do you think that you'll go to this year? How many games do you go to a year? What do you think? A couple? 5, 10, more? Question number 2. Major League Baseball trade deadline is coming up Monday. Will the Guardians buy or will they sell? Or will they stay stagnant? That's the other thing. Question number 3. What is your most prized possession of sports memorabilia? 330-821-1310. Get your comments in on the Q92 radio YouTube channel. We got the comment section open, the chat open. Jump it in there and give us what you got.
I liked Brian Beatty's. His was very wholesome. The Curry shoes.
Yeah.
Those were cool.
Autographed Steph Curry shoes. Can't beat that. Can't beat it. Tom says he goes to about 13 games a year. He says Guardians better spend money for hitting. His most prized possession, sports memorabilia, Archie Griffin jersey from the 1974 Rose Bowl. Oh, man. Ray, checking in. 10-plus games. He says the Guardians will buy at the trade deadline. His prized possession, Ohio State National Championship hats and the Buckeye paper. Tim Lonis checking in. Tim, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging out today. He says he goes to one game a year. The only reason he went last year was because Sandy Valley was honoring the 76 graduation class from 50 years. He thinks the Guards will sell, unfortunately. Pitching depth isn't going to get them far. And for sports memorabilia, he's got, oh my God, this is a whole thing.
Ooh.
A whole bunch of stuff. Tim, that is really awesome. Marlene. Is it Marlene? Yes. She goes to 10 high school games a year, plus post game for her team. She says, no idea if the Guardians will buy or sell. Her prized possession, sports memorabilia, a Tony Gwynn autographed baseball bat and baseball. Wow. The late, great Tony Gwynn. How good was he? Timmy Lang checking in, keeping the drinks flowing. He goes to one high school football game a year. Doesn't care about the Guardians. Prized possession for memorabilia. Too much Notre Dame stuff to just pick one.
It sounds like Keller.
Bill Perini checking in. He goes to about 16 or 17 high school games a year. He says, the Guardians will just screw it up. His favorite prized possession, a real game ball and a commemorative ball from the 100th Maslin-McKinley game. Yo, man. Great stuff. Keep those coming in. That's the 3-question Thursday quiz. Get your answers to us via any and all of our social media platforms. All right, we have released our broadcast schedule for high school football games this year for weeks 1 through 6. AM games, FM games, and our Q92 radio YouTube games. We got 4 weeks left to go. Week 7, 8, 9, and 10. Rainsburg, let's hit it. Here we go. Week 7 of the 2026 high school football season, the broadcast schedule release. These are games played on Friday night, October the 2nd. Leaves are just starting to turn a little bit, maybe a little chill in the air. Our AM game that night on 1310 WDPN, Alliance will take on Warren Howland at Mount Union Stadium. Our FM game that night, back at Tom Benson, here come the Vikings. North Canton Hoover will take on the Bulldogs of Canton McKinley. That'll be on Q92. Our YouTube games that night are as follows. West Branch, Carrollton. Marlington will play Salem. Perry will battle Austin Town Fitch. Green will take on Glen Oak. And the Lake Blue Streaks will battle the Jackson Polar Bears. That is week 7. AM 1310 WDPN and Q92. Week 8, our broadcast schedule looks like this. Our AM game has Carrollton and Marlington. Our FM microphones will bring you the Perry Panthers at home against the visiting North Canton Hoover Vikings. Maybe Scooter will stop up to the booth and say hello that night. Our YouTube games on Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We got a 5-pack for you once again. West Branch will battle Minerva. That'll be a good one. Canton McKinley on the road at Lake to take on the Blue Streaks. Federal League matchup between the Glen Oak Golden Eagles and the Jackson Polar Bears. Canton South will take on Fairless. Green will battle Louisville. Those are the games for week 8, and that is on Friday night, October the 9th. We move on to week 9. Usually it's the most dangerous week of the year because a lot of our teams are looking ahead to the big rivalry games week 10, but you got to handle your business. Week 9, October the 16th, Friday night, our AM game on 1310 WDPN. The Alliance Aviators will take on the West Branch Warriors. FM, the Canton McKinley Bulldogs will square off against Jay Rohr and the Jackson Polar Bears. Our YouTube games on Friday night, October the 16th. Again, this is week 9. Massillon will take on Warren G. Harding. The Perry Panthers will lace them up against the Green Bulldogs. The Hoover Vikings will take on the Lake Blue Streaks. Again, these are our YouTube games on week 9, October 16th. Tuslaw Mustangs make an appearance. They will take on the Wildcats of Canton South. And an old Federal League rivalry. I'm talking old Federal League rivalry. The Louisville Leopards will take on the Glen Oak Golden Eagles. Week 10 of the high school football season. These are your games. Again, you're listening to 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin Show. It is our 2026 high school football broadcast release schedule for high school football. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're watching and listening. If you're watching along on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, you can see the schedule graphics up there as we release them. So you want to check those out as well. Here we go. It's rivalry weekend, week 10. Unbelievable already. Thursday night special. The Holy War continues. The Knights of St. Thomas Aquinas will take on the Crusaders of Canton Central Catholic. That's the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. The Knights and the Crusaders on Thursday, October the 22nd. Let's go to Friday. Our AM game, rivalry, the Marlington Dukes will take on the Alliance Aviators at Mount Union Stadium in Alliance. On our FM, 92.5 Q92. This game never disappoints, as my good friend Jeff Shreve used to say. The Jackson Polar Bears will take on the North Canton Hoover Vikings. The battle for the rail. Our YouTube games this Friday night, Week 10, October the 23rd. Salem will take on West Branch. The Battle of the Hornets, Malvern and East Canton. Let's jump into the Federal League. Traditional season closer, the Perry Panthers will take on the Glen Oak Golden Eagles. Another rivalry game that's picking up a little steam as we move. The Lake Blue Streaks will take on the Green Bulldogs. And finally, the battle for the Blue Cup. Always a great night, always a great atmosphere. The Fairless Falcons will take on their arch rival, the Tuslaw Mustangs. And then finally, we conclude our regular season broadcast schedule. Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Q92, Q92radiosports.com, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, social media abound. It's the War of 1894 from Paul Brown Tiger Stadium in Massillon at 1 Paul Brown Drive. Nate Moore and the Massillon Tigers will host Renzi Parnell and the Bulldogs of Canton McKinley. That's Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. on October the 24th. The Bulldogs and the Tigers. That is our schedule, our broadcast schedule for weeks 7, 8, 9, and 10. Real quickly, we'll just give you our AM/FM games. Week 7 on the AM, Howland Alliance. Our FM game, Hoover McKinley. Week 8, Perry hosting North Canton Hoover on Q92. Right here on WDPN, Marlington and Carrollton. Week 9, AM, Alliance, West Branch. Our FM game that night, Jackson and Canton McKinley. And finally, Week 10, just the radio games. Friday night, AM, Marlington Alliance. Friday night on Q92, Hoover Jackson. And then Saturday afternoon on Q92, we'll have the big pregame for you before as well, hours before kickoff, getting you ready for the greatest high school football rivalry in the country. Canton McKinley, Massillon at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium, 2 o'clock Saturday, October the 24th. And there it is, weeks 1 through 10, our 2026 high school football broadcast schedule between 1310 WDPN, Q92, Q92 Radio YouTube channel, and all of our social media platforms.
Got Gary checking in on Facebook. He says, you got a Tuslaw game this year. Sammy, yes, sir.
Go Stangs, right? Go Stangs. All right, we hope you enjoyed our schedule release today. If you're on the YouTube channel right now, there it is. Weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The graphic is up there right now. You can see them all. Might want to screenshot that or just screenshot different weeks if that helps you out throughout the season. All of our broadcasts, all the schedules up right now on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button. We certainly would appreciate that. All right, there you go. Wow, what a great season we've got coming your way. AM, FM, YouTube, social media, the great coaches, the great players, the great games, the great fan bases, the rivalries, the blood, sweat, and tears, the hard work that goes into it. Training camp, 7-on-7s, scrimmages, the regular season, the postseason. Who's going to win it all. Who's going to surprise? What's going to happen? Keep it here. AM 1310, WDPN, and of course, Q92. We'll take a break and we'll come back.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, is hiring traffic control flaggers, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? SafeStep walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. SafeStep walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gianna Phillips, and I am Carnation Queen contestant number 9, proudly sponsored by Chick-fil-A Alliance. Their Carnation Festival Community Luncheon is on Saturday, August 1st at the University of Mount Union Hoover Price Campus Center. The keynote speakers will be Kellyange Thomas. The luncheon will get underway at 11:30 a.m. Tickets can be purchased at CompuTech Computers at 703 South Union Avenue.
Where does your generosity to mercy ships go? To a small village in Sierra Leone, to the eyes of a mother, to an operating room, the healing, the anxious wait, until finally, a beautiful smile. To a port in Madagascar, into the hands of a surgeon, to the eyes of the MRI technician, the scalpel, the monitor, the post-op, and finally, a mirror, a tumor removed, replaced by tears of joy. To a small fishing village in Africa, to the hopes of a boy, to his dreams of playing soccer, to the hands of a surgeon, the long recovery, until one day, the joy of finally being part of the team. Where does your generosity go? Wherever mercy does.
Welcome back to the show. Hope you enjoyed our high school football schedule release today. Tried to break that up for you and give you some good stuff each hour. If you missed, how are we going to do this on social tonight?
What do you mean?
Like, you know how we put stuff up after the show, and we had a little conversation yesterday about what we were going to put up and how we were going to.
Oh, yeah.
How we going to do that? Because I would love for the people to be able to go back and watch and listen in the entirety of the show to see the graphics pop up and hear us talk about the games and the production pieces and everything. I don't know how we'll.
I mean, the stream itself in its entirety stays on YouTube, and I think it stays on Facebook and X. I'm not sure how long it stays on those two, but I know it's on YouTube forever until we delete it.
Okay.
That won't be anytime soon, so.
Maybe
you want to watch the whole show in its entirety, you just go back to YouTube and start this episode all over.
Just go to the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. You can start the episode over. It's also up on AM 1310 WDPN X.
If anything, I could retitle it.
Figure out
after it's over to just like
just
Sam Bourquin.
Yeah, let's do that.
2026 high school football release show.
Yeah. Let's do that. So it kind of it sets
stands
it apart,
out.
but it doesn't because we did do the whole show.
I'll make
today,
I'll make I'll tweak your Sam Bourquin graphic a little bit for it.
That sounds good.
Change that so it's like Sam Bourquin football. I'll figure something out.
That's good. All right, that's
you got
awesome.
the gears turning. That's all you had to do.
And I got to record a couple spots after the show.
Oh,
too, so
God,
don't forget about that.
Philip on Facebook checking in. He says, "Sam, what's your prized possession?"
You know, Philip, that is a tough question. I don't have a lot of stuff. Believe it or not, I really don't.
Yeah, me neither.
Some of the stuff, you know, as I got older and moved, things just came up missing. I used to keep all my credentials from games that I would do, especially like the pro games. I still have a lot of that stuff. I got a lot of McKinley Maslin ticket stubs and stuff like that, stuff from the Hall of Fame game, some concerts that I've been to, some pictures and stuff like that. I really don't keep that stuff anymore. But I will tell you, if I had to pick, I got some really cool autographed bobbleheads too, now that I think about it. But you know what? I'm going to go with a photograph, like an old school photograph. And it was of Thurman Munson. And Thurman autographed it on the back. And I think that's probably one of my most prized possessions of sports memorabilia. And that ain't going anywhere. I'm keeping that until that day comes. Okay. That's going to stay with me. And I treasure that a lot. So that's probably my favorite.
That's one of those things you want to be buried with. You ever thought about that? It just kind of popped into my head.
You know, gosh, Rainsburg wants to bury me. I don't know.
I didn't say that.
I haven't thought about that.
I said if it's your prized possession, I mean, my prized possession, thinking about it, I'd probably be buried with it. That'd be a choice I could make, although I don't want to be buried.
Wow, we are going off the rails here.
Hey!
Thank you, Phil, for rescuing us here. That's going to do it for the show today. Gosh, we had a lot of fun today. Hope you enjoyed the schedule release. Again, if you want to go back and watch the show in its entirety and listen to the breakdown, the release of the schedules week by week, that'll be up on all of our social media platforms right after the show. So we're looking forward to that. Great job by Rainsburg today.
Real quick, Scooter checking in just to say, great show, Sam. He loved it, and he looks forward to the season.
Awesome. Thank you, Scooter. By the way, extra innings today, the White Sox beat the Yankees by the score of 2-1. So the Guardians trail Chicago now by 2 in the Central Division. That's going to wrap things up. Thanks to everybody today. Great job. Thanks to my guests, Keller and Christian and Brian Beatty. Thanks to all of you for participating in the show today. Had a ball. Went fast. It really went fast. But thanks for joining in. We'll do it all over again tomorrow at 3. It'll be a fill-in-the-blank Friday edition here on 1310 WDPN. And until then, and as always, go Bucks, go Cavs, go Guards, go Browns. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow.